Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the PowerUP podcast. Today, we have the second part to our massive topic, which is Call of Duty. Now, in the first episode, if you haven't seen it or listened to it, we went from Call of Duty 1 all the way to Call of Duty Ghosts, and we ranked them each individually, and the rankings will be heard at the end as well as the ones that we talk about today, which we'll be starting with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, all the way to the end of, well, today, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. But before we go into that, Ace, how have you been this week?
Doing good. It's been super busy. The fiance has gotten all four of her wisdom teeth taken out, so I've been super busy. Um, Before her surgery, though, I was able to get some good gaming in. And I'm gonna mention it here again, but God of War Ragnarok. I was playing Valhalla pretty much all this week. Just working through mastering all the stuff in that game. So it's been super fun. But chaotic. How have you been, Grubb?
Yeah, been good. Actually played a lot of games this week. I've took a break from Lies of P, got to chapter 8 out of 11, but I think I'm gonna do that in the background just off stream now. And I've started Final Fantasy VII Remake on hard mode. So initially on my stream, I did some chapter select on easy mode just to, even out the hard mode stuff. So I got 3 trophies before moving to hard mode, which is also a trophy, hence why I'm doing it. Because no one in the right mind would want to do that on hard mode. It is, it is so tough if you don't have the right stuff. Um, you were watching, you seen how difficult it is. The fight was so long.
Yeah, they're very long, drawn out fights. I literally asked you, I was like, "Are they normally this drawn out?" Like,
Yeah.
'cause that's an endurance battle at that point.
It is, and the fact that my second character went down and they were the only person with raise to like revive my character, so I had to do it 1v1. But yeah, in the end, I knew how to do it. But yeah, after that fight, I done chapter 2, which was a little bit of an easier chapter, and then moved on to Power Wash Simulator, which I've been playing a lot of. Um, it's just incredible. And then I got my first platinum of the year. Thank you,
On
thank you.
what?
Unpacking. Hey, to be fair, it was very good. My
How
last,
long is that platinum?
it was like 2.5 hours.
Jesus, bro, we need honorable plats here.
No,
Like,
honestly, it's a good
come on.
game. It's a fun game. It's an indie
Well,
game.
yeah, I mean, it could be a fun game. It just, I guess, at least it's not like My Name is Mayo or something like that.
I've already got that one.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
know you do.
my last trophy was flushing every single toilet. That's how legit the trophy set was. It was good.
That's fair.
Did that on stream as well, just
Well,
so people saw me do it.
you know, you bring that point up, and I know in the episode where we talked about our 2024 stuff, I was talking about Nintendo games,
hmm
but I've already changed my mind and switched focus, and I'm also like platinum hunting. Um, I'm actually going to be setting up my VR rig here soon to finish off Job Simulator, get that one done with,
Okay.
and then I got a list of games on the notes on my phone I'm going for. So the Uncharted series is what I'm aiming to do,
hmm
which I know it takes a lot of playthroughs, but I love those games, so it'll be fun.
Yeah. Uncharted will be a lot of fun. I need to play them. I need to play Tomb Raider, both pretty much identical style of games.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, there is a difference. You just may not actually see the difference. Today, for some reason, Discord will not allow my camera. So usually my camera's on Discord, so Ace can see me at the same time as doing the podcast. With OBS open, it was just glitching. So OBS can see me, Ace can't. So you just will be able to see me for the podcast. So if there's a little bit of, like, I'm laughing and he doesn't understand that I'm laughing silently, leave it
yeah.
out. He'll see it when it comes to watching. But this week we're actually gonna skip through the news because it's a really, really slow news week. Apart from the fact that a 13-year-old, I think, or 11-year-old beat Tetris, first person
Yeah,
ever to do it.
which is
Crazy.
crazy. I mean, there's not really too much to say just besides that that's insane.
Yeah.
I suck at Tetris. It makes me panic. I hate it. So I just suck at it.
Oh, me too.
Just so to think that a 13-year-old is there just grinding and beat the game essentially is that's crazy.
It is wild. And then there was a few other things, but like with a massive topic of Call of Duty, we'll just skim over them, and then from next week we'll continue with the news, and hopefully we can bring what was this week news into next week's and have it a little bit bigger.
Yep.
So yeah, on to the main topic. Okay, so to start the main topic today, we do have Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which is kind of claimed to be a modern Call of Duty. But before I start in my massive notes, Ace, what was your opinions on Advanced Warfare?
I personally, I really enjoyed it. I kind of loved it. It was the first game in the jetpack era, if you want to call it. Although it had exosuits, it was different movement than like the jetpacks we later see
Mm-hmm.
in the franchise. I thought the multiplayer was a lot of fun. I loved the loot crate system in this game because you couldn't purchase them with real money, so it was strictly just from playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's kind of hit or miss with the weapon variants from people, but it was another thing that I loved. This game had some really good maps, some really good weapons. The survival, it had exo survival, and then at the end of it, kind of like World at War, it led into zombies, and we got to see some really cool characters in that zombies mode. I mean, we had John Bernthal in this game. We also had Kevin Spacey in the campaign. I mean, this was, I don't know, it's a pretty good game. It gets a lot of hate, but I love it.
It does get a lot of hate. But again, like you said, I loved it too. So
Yeah.
it was the first game from Sledgehammer in the first 3-year development cycle. So they come in and they hit us with an absolute banger of Advanced Warfare. Again, something new, unique, like Ghosts. It was new people, new campaign, new everything essentially, new movement for crying out loud. So people didn't enjoy it. I loved it. I have the most time spent playing this game out of all Call of Duties. Yeah, I've got
Wow.
like 1,000 hours on my accounts in total. Yeah, I played this game a lot, like a lot. Um, but yeah, you mentioned already Kevin Spacey in the campaign as Jonathan Irons, but
Mm-hmm.
Troy Baker was also in the campaign, and
Who do you play?
I can't remember who Troy Baker plays. I'm pretty sure one of the main people. I want to say I can't exactly remember who, but like I remember researching and I remember Troy Baker was in it. Also Gideon is also voice actor in Final Fantasy VII Remake as
Oh, okay.
Biggs. So a lot of voice actors. I think Troy Baker's the one you play. I think he's the playable character.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That would make sense.
that's why I'm like mine thought.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, because I could piece his voice together because obviously it came out just after. I'm pretty sure The Last of
Yeah.
Us, so I could piece it together. Um, the campaign. Let's start with that then, because obviously we spoke about the two people. Campaign was brilliant. It was
Yeah, it was
so
super
good.
good.
So I've written down that the campaign done like a full circle, because it essentially did. You lose your arm. Kevin Spacey's character, Jonathan Irons, builds you an arm, puts it on you, and at the end, if you've not played it, spoilers, but essentially, Kevin Spacey is hanging off this prosthetic arm, and you cut it off to essentially kill him. So it goes a full circle. He helps you, and then you also kill him with the use of that arm. So it was really well done.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite campaigns just in the entire series in general.
Mm-hmm.
I love the mission where you kind of see the turn of Jonathan Irons. It's just another one. I mean, kind of like Shepard. It's not as legendary as Shepard, but it's another one where the turn, I don't know, like essentially a heel turn. It's just incredible. Um, I don't remember like too many like vivid scenes from the campaign. All I remember is that this is one that I actually played over and over again when it did come out. And this was the last game too where I played the campaign and like thoroughly enjoyed it because I was always campaign first, then get into multiplayer. And this was the last game I fully did it with, and we'll get into why when we talk about Black Ops 3. But
No, I think that's the same with me, to be honest. AW was the last campaign that I played from the start. Because essentially what I'd do when I got COD, load up the campaign, play the campaign first, and then play multiplayer. But then, again, I felt like I was falling a bit behind when it came to that. In multiplayer. So, multiplayer, I mean, my list is absolutely massive. I'm not even gonna lie. So pick 13 system instead of a pick 10, so you could use more stuff. I mean, it was needed, to be honest. You could edit score streaks. By doing this, you increase the amount needed to earn them. I thought that was pretty cool. You know, you could have the basic version, which costs less, but then you could also upgrade it. And if you're a good player, you know you're gonna hit the little upgraded amount, then you might as well just throw the dice. You've already mentioned this. Supply drops. Elite, elite, elite.
Yeah, dude.
Like that sound.
That is stuck in my head. I still reference that all the time when I'm playing games with like my brothers and stuff. So the memories of that.
But if I'm not mistaken, there is a limit of how much you could hold in terms of like the gear and stuff, like infantry wise.
I don't remember. I'm not entirely sure.
I swear it's like a 200, but like you could scrap and discard it for XP. So like essentially maybe it's because I played 1,000 hours, mate, that I hit that
I
limit.
would say I don't know if I ever hit that point.
I think I filled it and I had to discard some for XP, but if you had duplicates, I could just get rid of them.
Yeah.
But no, that's a really good way to level up as well. I did put down pay to win. Are you sure that you can buy them in this one?
I was pretty sure.
Let me see. Advanced.
Let's say research it quick. Maybe at the beginning you couldn't.
Drops. Pay. Yeah, advanced supply drops. You could buy them. I'm pretty sure.
All the advanced ones?
The advanced ones, you could buy them.
Oh, was that the difference? The normal ones?
The normal ones
you couldn't, but advanced. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I swear I remember people buying them and doing like a full-on advanced, because I'm just looking here. The 28 supply drops was $40.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Maybe it's just because, I never did buy them in this game. So I guess I just don't remember that.
As of March 3rd, 2015 update on Xbox One, players are able to buy. So, PC version lacks it. I don't know if it was on PlayStation. I assume it would have been on PlayStation if it was on Xbox that you could buy them. So it was later in the game. So if you'd already given up playing.
So I was gonna say I think I was done playing it by that point. So okay, so that does make me feel a little less stupid then. So I do remember not being able to purchase them at the beginning. So
I do remember being able to purchase them. So I think it was on PlayStation as well. So I did put pay to win, but
that's fair.
Not as much as other games, which we'll talk about. We've got your favorite mode. Well, one of them, Uplink.
Uplink, so good. What a great mode, especially in that game with the exosuits and everything. So fun. That was probably the mode I dumped the most. Capture the flag. I put a lot of hours into on this game. Like this is a COD where I didn't play like traditional modes. Usually I'm like a TDM, kill confirm, domination, like search and destroy. Mainly those four, mainly team deathmatch. But this one, it was like mainly uplink and capture the flag. So I think it was just the movement. Those game modes just seemed more fun to me.
Oh yeah, with the movement and the stuff you could do with the movement, then yeah, it's so good. And then I've put royalty camo because that was the camo that you could earn It was really nice. I don't even
Mhm.
remember if I earned it. Surely I did with 1,000 hours, but I don't know if I went for
Yeah,
it. I don't know if I went for
right.
it.
I know I personally didn't go for the royalty camo. I don't even know if at the time I knew it was a thing or how to get it.
Hmm.
Um, I mainly just played with the guns I liked. I wasn't into like getting camos until later on in the series, but we'll get to that later too. But yeah, this game I loved. I know we touched on it a little bit, but the variants. I mean, the ASM1 Speakeasy, the Obsidian Steed for the bow,
Hmm.
both so good, so good. And then my personal favorite, the gun I probably had the most hours on was the HBRA3, the Insanity variant of it.
Yep,
That gun, that gun was amazing.
that was good. And I'm pretty sure for the royalty camo, all you needed was diamond in that category.
Oh,
Um, so to unlock diamond, all you needed was gold for every weapon. So I I guess it was if you got all primary weapons gold, you got royalty. So I don't think I think I must have got it, just not on the secondary weapons.
wow, okay.
Because I do remember seeing that camo, uh, in my game. But that could actually be because it was also in supply drops as like the armor. I'm pretty sure. I
Oh
think it
yeah,
was royalty
yeah.
armor. So it could be just because I got it in the care package for the armor, or I could be wrong, and you had to unlock the armor a certain way. But
Yeah.
um, one of the other things was, from my experience, is one of my friends actually created a spreadsheet with every single variant in the game, and we
Oh
put our
wow.
names to them whenever we got them. So that was a really cool way to track like which variants we had, and if someone got the Bal Obsidian Steed, I could say I hate you more now. Because
Yep.
it was the best ball in the game. Um, so yeah, I wanted that. I wanted it a
Yep.
lot.
Say I had the Obsidian Steed. I did not ever get the Speakeasy though, which
Oh,
was very sad.
well, that moves on to the additional prestiges that came in after the first 15. The additional prestiges, once you prestiged, you got a variant weapon. So the Obsidian Steed was in one of them, the Speakeasy was in one of them, the Insanity was in one of them. So like it was another way for you to earn those weapon variants, which I thought was pretty good. Obviously,
Yeah.
you'd have to grind for them. But, there was an opportunity there. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was luck based. I wasn't
Oh,
lucky.
for sure.
I made a second account, got the Bal Obsidian Steed pretty much instantly. It's always the case, obviously. You make a different account just to start playing, messing around, and then you get the gun that you want
Uh-huh.
on your main account. So,
Yep.
fun. My last thing for, like, the actual multiplayer was exo abilities. So, like, you could cloak. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
You could hover. So you could, like, just
I
stay
went.
in the air, just
Yep.
shoot down on people. That was good. And again, we haven't really spoke about the movement, but like that movement, frost jumps and stuff like that, it
Hmm.
was so cool at the time. Like in the trailer, the
Yeah.
thing that I imagined in the trailer was when there was a person behind him and he jumps up in the air, boosts backwards, and then kills him. Like
Yep.
that is an iconic scene in a trailer. And yeah, so good.
Yeah. I love the movement because there was I mean there was a skill gap to it too. If
Hmm.
you learned the movement and you got good at it, it gave you an advantage over other people. So it was super fun. There was it was the first like time we had different movement, and I think they nailed it. So
I agree with that statement. I think they nailed it too. And the time to kill was kind of perfect for the movement as well.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I just love AW. Bring it back, please. Many people would disagree with that. Oh, sorry. I also have one more thing. They introduced the paintball mode, so you're not
yep,
shooting bullets. You're shooting paintballs. I loved that. It actually made COD
hmm
more friendly.
yep,
Um, they need to do that more, but I think people might get upset. I'd rather shoot paintballs at people.
Yeah, right. I mean, it made it more colorful too, and just more. Even though it's not a huge thing, like it made it more casual feeling too, because it
Mhm.
just made it more fun.
Yep.
So, I mean, I played with it on pretty much the whole time. So
No, me too. Me too. Okay, into the best stuff now. Best maps. What did you have for best maps?
I had Solar was a fantastic map. My personal favorite was Retreat, and then another really really good map was Terrace. I loved that map.
Okay.
Um, I mean, this game had good maps. Like it, I don't know. It's a very well balanced game when it comes to the map rotation, the map pool, and the guns, which we'll get onto later.
hmm Well, you've listed three maps, and none of them maps are on my list. I've got
Wow.
Riot. Riot
Okay.
was insane. Detroit and Biolab.
Biolab was good. I liked Riot. Detroit. That's an interesting one.
It was perfect for
And
S&D.
that's fair. Which again, I didn't play S&D on this game a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like Capture the Flag was amazing on Terrace because of all the different levels and stuff, all the different paths.
Yeah,
So I think mainly my maps were like good Capture the Flag and Uplink maps. Kind of thinking about it. So
fair enough. I mean, there's a lot of maps that I didn't add. I mean, Solar, I forgot about really. And the fact that there was like this thing in the sky that just made the reflection of the sun kill you mid-map. It's really annoying when it came to hardpoint and you're on the point and then you just get killed by the solar. You're just there like, I
yeah,
can't do anything.
I get that.
So yeah, that was a good map. I enjoyed that. Watching competitive on that map was also very good.
I say
Um,
that's where you get the legendary nade shot moment, right?
the HBRE3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goddamn gun, man. We could have won champs. I mean, if it worked, we would have been known for it, but like it just unfortunately it just didn't. So
yeah.
yeah. And then best weapons, as you mentioned, I put the BAL, of course, in the ASM1. I'll also talk about the Moore sniper rifle, especially with quick bolt.
Yeah. It was this game I did like hardly any sniping, and I think it just was mainly because of the movement.
hmm
I found it really hard to snipe in this game. Um, one gun you left off. I guess I don't know if you're done listing, but the HBRE3. It's my personal favorite gun in the game entirely, even without the insanity
hmm
variant. I loved how that gun looked and handled.
The iron sights were terrible though, like the little diamond.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness! Like, give me a red dot sight instantly, because I cannot handle this sight. Bal was perfect. You do not need a sight in the Bal, but the
yep.
HBRE3, goodness gracious me, please give me a sight.
Well, and then is it the insanity variant where you can't have a sight on it, or is that the bear hug?
No, it could have been that. Could have been that.
So, because I think I got used to the iron sights because I don't remember putting sights on whichever HBR I was using, and I
Mhm.
own the insanity, so I think it was that one. But I was able to get used to the iron sights, so
I,
it
I,
worked.
I just couldn't. And then you've already mentioned Exo Survival, so you had to play all of them once and get to level 10, around 10, I believe. And then you had to go
Yep.
back to Riot, get to round 10, and then the zombies cutscene happens. So essentially, you had to unlock it at the start of the game. But I'm pretty sure with the first DLC, it unlocked automatically for everyone
Yep.
if you bought it. So yeah, we got another zombies, which was kind of cool. I didn't know there was zombies straight away. I thought it was just survival. So it was pretty cool that they added it. But I feel like it was a bit unfair. You could first jump away from the zombies, like.
Yeah. Well, that's why. I mean, it was in later maps too. They introduced, um, like there was zombie types that could shut your exosuit off, and I think there was also rooms too that did it. Um, and I don't know if they did this in the first DLC map, but you also had to. It was kind of like the power where it was later on in the map
hmm
that you found the exosuit. Um, but no, I actually enjoyed the zombies in this game a little bit. I thought the pack a punching system in this game was super cool because you could pack a punch. I want to was it like 25 or 50 times?
No idea.
Um, you could do it a bunch. But I don't know, it was different than the normal like Black Ops Zombies we were getting.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fresh and enjoyable.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I think I played it a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah,
So, ranking now. Where would you rank Call of Duty Advanced Warfare?
yeah, it's gonna be a firm A for me. I don't think it's quite S tier. I don't think it's on the level of like BO1, BO2,
Mm-hmm.
those games. But it doesn't deserve to be anything lower than an A in my opinion. It's a very good game. The guns are very good in it. Um, I don't know. I loved it. So
Fair enough. And I'm gonna join you in the A tier for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I think it's a great game. Obviously, people who like boots on the ground aren't gonna enjoy it, but listen, I wanted something new, and I thoroughly enjoyed Advanced Warfare. I think they did a
yeah,
cracking job.
yeah, it was very good. And moving on to a game that I think we're very split on. I think we've talked about it slightly before. Black Ops 3. Um, I have some very strong opinions about this game, but before we get into that, Grub, I just want to hear your thoughts.
Um, I mean, if you've played the campaign, then fair enough. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
It actually has to be the worst campaign I've ever played in my life. Despite it being co-op, it confused the living crap out of me. Like I just didn't understand
Mm-hmm.
what was going on. I played it
Yeah.
once, never again. I don't need to play that campaign ever again. Um, and honestly, that was the reason why I stopped playing campaigns from the start, because
Yep.
that was a waste of time. It was a complete waste.
Yeah. I mean, I literally have it down here on my notes just for the campaign section. I just have it trashed. It's the first campaign that I just straight up quit
Hmm.
like halfway through. I didn't even finish it. It was so like you said, confusing and just it was not enjoyable
No.
whatsoever.
I mean, I
So
completed it and I wouldn't be able to tell you what the fuck happened. It was all like mind stuff, wasn't it? It was like,
yeah,
it just didn't make sense for me and I didn't enjoy it.
yeah,
The, I mean, for the multiplayer, it kind of made sense because some of the maps, like, were cool because of it, but like, apart from that, like, what on earth is going on? Like,
yeah.
so I understand your ranking compared to the campaign, but like when it comes to the multiplayer, I just don't understand like how you can hate it.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the move because I liked exosuit so much and the thrust jump, but I think this multiplayer is below average. I don't think it like I've called it trash before, but looking back on it, it's for me it's below average. Um, I didn't really enjoy the specialists
Mm-hmm.
that were introduced. The gunplay I thought was okay. Um, there's only like one gun in my head that always sticks that I thought was fun to use, and that's the VNP,
Mm-hmm.
which we'll get on to later for sure. But like I have some apps listed here, but like none of them I can really picture. Like there's not any memorable maps. I don't have any memorable moments from this game when it comes to multiplayer. I don't know. I didn't have a lot of fun with it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, as well as Advanced Warfare, this is my second most played COD. Uh, Black Ops 3. So, introduced wall running. I enjoyed that. It made a lot more of the maps accessible. Instead of a thrust jump, you had a boost jump, so you could actually tap the jump button and you'd not jump straight up in the air. You could actually like direct yourself through a lot more movement.
Mm-hmm.
This Call of Duty was the first one that allowed swimming. My goodness, could you imagine a soldier not being able to swim? Like all the other CODs, like they can get shot a few times, but when they touch water, oh no, no, no,
Yeah.
that is not good. They've drowned on an inch. It's a puddle for fuck's sake. Come on, they should be able to handle water. But
Yeah.
yeah, finally able to swim and have some cool water battles on some of the maps.
Mhm.
You've mentioned specialist characters. I personally enjoyed them. It gave something new to the game. When to actually use them. if you use the ability, you could go invisible again. You could go faster. I don't think you had rewind on this one. That's the next game.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's the next game. But special characters, I've put down Prophet with the Tempest. You got Ruin with the Gravity Slam. That was so cool in the trailer where it just went bang and then just see everyone fly off backwards. Like, oh,
Yep.
so good. Spectre, Invis, and you also had like the knife thing. They also had like a knife that you could lunge at people.
Yep.
You got the Reaper machine gun, which was so cool, and the Psychosis, where you didn't know which one was real or not. And then I
Yep.
put Battery, which was the War Machine, and the Kinetic Armor. For competitive, this is what made it interesting. You could only have one character on each. So, like, you had 4 players. You could only choose different specialists. Made it really good. You didn't have 4 players using Invis.
Right.
You'd have to be smart with it. And then also in competitive, I'm pretty sure it was the first time the protect and ban system was in. So you could ban weapons and protect weapons so that you could use them. Honestly, it was a lot of variety, and the rank in this game was so good because of that. Like, oh, my M8 has now been banned. I guess I have to use this gun. Or do I protect the M8? But they could be really good with it. So, like, a lot of strategy even before getting into the game. Dark Matter introduced. Oh my goodness, this made me love camos. This made me love camos. I got Dark Matter. I actually set out from the start of the game to get it. And I was smashing through it. And then my mate decided to try and go for it. I helped him with his Gorgon 12, which was the really slow-firing LMG. And he helped me with my Spitfire, I'm pretty sure, the really fast SMG, because he was better with SMGs. I finished the Gorgon. He didn't finish my Spitfire. He beat me because he stayed up for like all night. I woke up, completed it, and he was like, yeah, I've already done it. So he beat me, even though I was going for it from the start. So that was frustrating. Thanks, Luke. But yeah, I ended up getting it. I absolutely love that camo. It set the tone for camos in the future. Crypto keys for the supply drops. So you earned a certain amount of crypto keys that you could buy the supply drops. I think there was a 10 crypto key supply box and a 30 crypto key supply drop. So you could pick and choose what you wanted, essentially. And then the final thing that I have for multiplayer was the free run. So it was like an obstacle course and you had the time. That was so fun. That was fun. Luke spent so much time on that and he was like really good at it. I'm pretty sure some of his times were like some of the best in the leaderboard. Because he literally he was going for it, like he kept retrying, kept going. So yeah. That's all I have for that game. I mean, it's a lot. I loved it. It's one of my favorites. Best maps. I guess you don't have any.
I mean, Combine. Combine's like the only map that I vividly remember playing on and having like good times on.
I've got Combine, Fringe, Evac, and Stronghold for my maps. There is a few.
I don't even remember Fringe, if I'm being honest.
It's more of like a farm. So you've got the farm building, and then you've got like the mid lane. With like the head glitches. You got building on the right. You've got like this long train building to the left.
Okay.
It's two houses. It's basically a house on one side and a barn on the other. You've got a train on the side, and then you've got a few houses.
Nope.
Okay.
I remember it now because that middle alley between the barn and the house. Yep. Okay.
You'd snipe on there.
Yep. Remember that. Yep.
Don't ask me about Evac and Stronghold. Stronghold's the snow map. Evac is the one which is like on top of the roof, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But best weapons, you've already mentioned yours. VMP.
Yep, VMP, and then the other notable one is Man of War.
Okay, you literally just brushed over the M8. Wow. the best gun in the game, and the Razorback. I love the Razorback in this game. You don't
Not a
remember it?
fan.
Oh, you're not a fan of it?
No, not a fan. No,
I loved it.
I liked I liked the Argus. That was another gun. I think that was mainly from. I think that's mainly from Zombies though. That gun was elite in Zombies, which I don't. Do you not have Zombies like on your list?
No, that was it for multiplayer.
Okay, I was about to say.
We're about to come up to zombies.
Okay, okay.
Um, Zombies was unique. They introduced gumballs. So that was fun. You could buy gumballs 3 times a match, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously there was different variety and rarity. So that
Yep.
was fun. They've pretty much given another challenge. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really play the base maps when it came to zombies, so I'm gonna hand it over to you.
Okay. This is like the one saving grace of this game. I'd probably have it. We'll get to the ranking later, but I'd probably have it down in D or F if it weren't for zombies. This is, in my opinion, the best zombies like overall in the entire franchise. Between the maps, the gobblegums, and just the way all of it is set up, it is so good. I mean, Gorod Krovi, one of the best maps ever. Shadows of Evil, one of the best maps ever. Eisendrache, another one, amazing. Zetsubo no Shima, which is one of my personal favorites. It's the first one I ever like researched and went for an Easter egg like hard for when it came out. Never beat it, but still super fun. And I don't know if you ever played that map. You could be a spider. It was cool. And then Revelations was like the perfect culmination to all those maps and the storyline with it too. I don't did you ever pay attention to the storyline with this game?
I didn't pay attention to any storyline when it came to zombies. It was too confusing because it kind of just kept
Which
jumping around.
I get,
Um,
and I think that's a reason why this game is so good because they finally like seemed to make it linear. Each map was for one of the four guys.
mhm,
So Gorod Krovi's Nikolai's map, Dries and Draka Dempsey's map, Zetsubo's Takashi's map. Right,
mhm.
Takashi?
I don't know the name. Sorry.
I might be misremembering his name, but anyway, and it was all about like I could be misremembering, but I think killing their older selves or getting something from their older selves,
Mhm.
um, to like complete this ritual with that weird orb from Shadows of Evil. Which, by the way, Shadows of Evil, you could be a weird squid-looking thing, and then that era for that map too, like 70s, 80s New York City looking map. Oh, it's so good. The zombies in this map, like I said, best in the franchise. The only thing I enjoyed about this game.
The only thing I remember of the first map was the boxing ring, kind of at the
Yeah,
bottom at the docks. I mean, I actually really liked that map. I just didn't play it too much.
yeah.
Um, I did play Revelations. That was cool. Going through like the portals and stuff. And then
Mm-hmm.
that was only because I bought the Zombies Chronicle DLC. And I haven't even utilized it to the full potential because I didn't play all the maps.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
but I think that's
I
like the zombie fans like best time because all the maps were just in one game. It was
yeah,
perfect. It catered towards zombies. It was so good for them.
yeah. Because the only good thing about this game. But no, this is also where, at least from my knowledge, this is where like the Easter egg community kind of took off. Like Mr. Raw Waffles, those guys. That's where I started to watch them at the least. I'm pretty sure this is where they like. I mean, definitely had the most to talk about because these maps and these the Easter eggs were so incredible and so good and filled with so much.
Hmm.
And the story throughout the game too, there was so much to like try to predict and like figure out. It was probably the best time, kind of like you said, best time for the zombie community. So
I started watching the zombies community in Black Ops 2. So I already knew like Syndicate and stuff from there.
right,
So I carried on watching him for Black Ops 3. But yeah, let's go to rating. I want to get your bombshell out the way. Go on, hit me with the terrible.
I'm gonna give it. This is honestly probably higher than I would ever think about putting it, but just thinking about the zombies and actually stepping back, thinking about the multiplayer, it wasn't that bad. campaign fucking trash. We've gone over that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it a B because I know I gave Ghost a C, so Ghost multiplayer I enjoyed more, but I guess it. No, Black Ops 3. Can I edit the tier list as we go? Like, can I change my
Not possible, mate.
not possible?
Not possible. You're not allowed to change. You can't go, oh yeah, you gotta rate it. If you don't think it's
Yeah,
as good as Ghosts, you've got to put it as the same one as Ghosts.
let's say it. Then it's gotta be. It's gotta be C tier. It's gotta
Okay.
be.
Okay. Ah, what a shame. S tier.
Wow.
One of the best multiplayers I've ever played in my life. It was just so much fun. Zombies was good from an outside perspective. The only thing that could have probably knocked it down to an A is the campaign, but I've throw the campaign in the bin and just forget about it. It never actually existed. So yeah, multiplayer zombies S tier. I'm not even dropping like. There's no way I'm putting Black Ops 3 below anything else, considering it was like my most fun game.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I mean I get liking it, but to put it on that level, it's bold. That's insane. I mean my rating's bold too. So we have very different opinions about this game. I think this is the first one where we're like kind of torn.
Yep, agreed. Next one though. So carrying on the jetpack era, which again, not many people enjoyed.
Nope.
Infinite Warfare, the most disliked video for a trailer in YouTube history.
Wow,
That's insane.
I did not know that.
Yep, it was
That
the
is
most
insane.
disliked. They hated it. They saw it was literally only for a split second that you saw someone thrust jump in the distance. Like everything else, it looked fine. It looked like it was in space, but it looked like it was boots on the ground. But then just this one scene, they had someone jump up in the air and they pinpointed it. And everyone on YouTube was like, jetpacks are confirmed, and everyone disliked. It was crazy. Yeah, I actually want to see how many dislikes it's got. Obviously, they've got rid of the dislike
All right.
total, but I've downloaded an extension. I will give you a total right now. Infinite Warfare trailer. Here we go. You might hear a sound. I apologize.
Well, while you're looking that up,
4 million dislikes.
Holy crap.
That is a lot, man. That is a lot. Like I said, one of the most disliked video in the history of YouTube. That's insane.
Wow.
Like I said, I'm one of the ones who liked it.
Yeah, I would say I enjoyed this game. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was, better than BO3. I don't think it was Advanced Warfare good, but I liked it. I did enjoy this game.
I think when it comes to jetpacks, it was a solid game. Like, but people at this point were just fed up of jetpacks, which is annoying because I fully enjoy it. But yeah, let's make a start. The campaign. I've written down best campaign Call of Duty history.
Really?
I think it was phenomenal. It felt like a movie.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This is one of my favorite campaigns. Like, I don't know, just the memory of the ending with Ethan, the robot and everything. I just, yeah, I get it. It's definitely one of the best. I still probably prefer the MW2 campaign and the BO1. But I definitely see a top 3 for sure. It's a fantastic campaign.
See, I thought you were going to say Ghosts, because I think Infinite Warfare and Ghosts are probably at that level for campaigns. MW2 is good.
Yeah.
But I think Ghost and Infinite Warfare
kind of just slipped my mind there.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think they're the best campaigns, like the newer ones. Ghost and Infinite Warfare, definitely the best campaigns that Call of Duty have ever had. Probably the ones that they cared about the most. Like they probably spent a lot of time in them.
Hmm.
I've put down Conor McGregor was in it. Like that, he was
Yeah,
a big name. I mean, he still is a big name.
right.
Um, and Kit Harington was also in it as one of the. They were both enemies, which is
Yep,
kind of cool.
it
If you
is.
don't know who Kit Harington is, you know nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah,
Essentially.
I do know. I've never watched Game of Thrones, but I do know of him.
Mhm.
So
So yeah, they were in it. I mean, Lewis Hamilton was even in this game. How could I forget? Lewis Hamilton was in this game.
really,
Yes, he was. He made a cameo in this game. Lewis Hamilton, Advanced Warfare. So we just did a little cut just to make sure that Lewis Hamilton was in Infinite Warfare, and he definitely was. There was a article that said he wasn't in MW2, which kind of threw me off guard because I didn't read the full like
ah,
list. So that's why it threw me off. But yeah, definitely in Infinite Warfare. So like the cast was insane. Like, you've got
yeah.
a lot of big names there. And then the last thing I put, because you've already mentioned Ethan, was wait, actually no, I've got two more things. Space again, kind of returning to space since Call of Duty Ghosts was like the first
Hmm.
iteration of like space combat. But like you actually were in rocket ships and spaceships shooting at things, so a whole new dynamic of warfare. And
Yeah.
then a trendsetter. This game was a trendsetter. Can you tell me why?
No question
Okay.
mark.
Okay, it's definitely not question mark. Um, so when someone dies, what do you put in the chat?
This is the pay F, or is F to pay
F.
respect?
Press F to pay respect. This set
Okay.
a whole trend that people still use when people mess up. They put F in a Twitch chat, and you know you've made a mistake or you've died. It was a trendsetter. Like that was probably for some people that was the best thing that came out of this game.
Yeah,
Like
you're not wrong.
literally. But no, the campaign. I can't say enough nice things about it. It was so good. I loved it. Um, multiplayer. Did you have a better experience with multiplayer in this game?
So much better, and I, I do want to say that part of it definitely could be because of the memories I have with it. This is one of my older brothers, Andrew. I guess you know him, Cable. He
Mm-hmm.
was on the road a lot, and pretty much every night we'd sit down like an hour before I had to go to bed for school in the morning, and we'd play just hardcore search and destroy, and just him and I would run it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of memories of that. But I did just in general enjoy this multiplayer a lot more. Um, I don't know. Part of it maybe I got used to the jet boosting instead of the thresh jumping. I I don't know because I know a lot of people see it as worse than BO3, and I don't necessarily know a huge difference between them. But I just know I had more fun with Infinite Warfare.
Okay. I mean, it brought back jetpacks. It was the same boost jumps, wall running. I don't know if they brought anything different to like the movement. It was pretty much the same.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I found this game to be slightly worse when it came to multiplayer than Black Ops 3. I didn't enjoy it as much. I think partially because my friends gave up with it because they didn't enjoy it. Like they really disliked Infinite Warfare. They think it was terrible.
yeah,
So the fact that my friends stopped playing it kind of forced me to stop playing it early, even though I enjoyed it. I mean, I played on without them as much as possible, but in the end, with Call of Duty, if you're not playing with people, you get bored. It's as
right.
simple as that. So maybe that's why you don't rate Black Ops 3 that highly. Did you not play with people online?
Not really, not that I can remember. And now that you mention it, this was the first one too that it wasn't like a game that I had to play split screen or like share a console with.
Mm-hmm.
So although it might have been annoying waiting for waiting for my turn on the console with my older brother,
Mm-hmm.
um, playing split screen too, because I didn't mention it in Advanced Warfare, but that was a game where our Dad took us to Walmart the night it dropped. Back when the Walmart here was 24/7 still,
Mm-hmm.
and we got it release night. And Ethan and I stayed up till 8 in the morning that night, playing split screen multiplayer, just going for it. So that definitely could be it, because I don't think I really played BO3 with too many people.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, this one I played with Cable a bunch, and I again enjoyed it.
Makes sense. So I wrote down for this one, the XP was split up between normal XP, weapon XP, and mission team XP. So the mission team was new. Weapon XP, I'm pretty sure was also new. You could actually level up your weapons and prestige them. I think that
Yep.
that was already in COD, but like that was the first one that caught my eye.
Yeah.
The camera grind, I think it was black sky instead of dark matter in this game. Also a lot of fun. I don't think I got black sky though. I don't think I tortured myself enough to get that one. I think it was a lot more headshots, and with the movement, it was like there's no way. Like it's
Yeah.
just so much harder. I also put down when you prestiged, you unlocked a throwback weapon. So you could get the intervention, the UMP, the ACR. Obviously, they were named different, but you
Yep.
could get some throwback weapons from the older games, and that was a kind of motivation to actually hit the prestige.
Yep.
So that was fun. Um, one of the things I didn't like was only some weapons allowing the deatomizer or having a certain ability. I really didn't like that. It's like the K-Bar 23 only had like, I think it was called like Breakout or something like that. You could only get a 25 kill streak and get the deatomizer using that weapon. If you wanted one with like just the normal base, you couldn't. You just got the medal,
Yeah.
which I really disliked. Why should you have to use its own weapon to earn it?
Right.
So I didn't like it. However, me and my friend both on throwback. I think it was domination. I got my deatomizer, but I didn't call it in straight away because I knew he was on like a 20, and we both got the atomizers in the same lobby, which was
Wow.
so cool. It's actually a YouTube video on my channel because it was like, oh my god, we both got one.
I have to go back and watch that.
But you could unlock the weapons by using salvage, so I guess the option was there for everyone to go and buy it.
Right.
But yeah, I just didn't like that. Again, they also brought back combat rigs instead of specialists. One that I put down was the claw. You could turn into like, what is it, like, I don't know, four-legged tiger maybe. I don't know. You could just what was it? What it was? It was like you turned into a robot that could go on all fours, and you could swipe them and kill them. Like it was like that. I'm pretty sure you could jump, wall run with it. So yeah, you had the Warfighter Claw. You also had FTL, which you had the FTL jump, which could thrust you forward, or you had the Eraser,
Mm-hmm.
which like the golden gun. Um, so you could literally just bang, 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 kill loads of people. That was fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've written down. There was a cool map with black hole on the outside called Mayday. That
Mm-hmm.
was like a new dynamic. Obviously, most of the maps were in space now because they could do.
Right.
Um, and then 1 month after launch, to make those boots on the ground players happy, they made a tactical mode which removed all thrust jumping and power sliding. Probably because the reception of boots was a lot higher, so they did cater to them, even though it was a jetpack game. So yeah, overall, the multiplayer was fine. It wasn't the best, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I Same here. I mean, I enjoyed it. There's not too many memorable weapons in this game, which I think it was kind of a trend. I don't know starting when, but there was at some point, because like all the older CODs have some iconic weapons that you just like know by name. And then the further we got down the franchise. The guns kind of lost their like iconic um ability. I think like the battle and the ASM1 are probably the last couple, at least that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
VMP's up there too, but like this gun, I just had the K bar down because that was like the main gun I used. Um, and the OSA too, which was like the ARX from was it Ghosts?
Yep.
It was like a remake of that gun.
That was one of the prestige weapons, right? The throwback weapons.
Um, maybe I thought it was the level 55 gun, like the
Could have
last one
been.
you unlocked.
It could have been because you also had the ACR, which looked like it. It was a very similar weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be actually correct with that. I put down the MV4, which was the better assault rifle compared to the K-bar,
Hmm.
in my opinion. And then ERAD for the SMG, the energy weapon.
Hmm.
And I've actually put down an LMG for this one, the Raw, because that gun was insane. Like
Yep.
everyone was running around with Raw. It didn't really slow you down, and it killed fast. Like that gun was overpowered, to say the
Hmm.
least. Best maps though. Let's go maps.
The three that I have listed, I have Breakout, I have Genesis, and I have Retaliation. Genesis definitely being my favorite one. Um, I don't know. The maps in this game were pretty cool. I was looking back on it when I was researching. I think this is the game that had the micro map, even though it was DLC, where you essentially like play on a food on a table with a bunch of food, and you're like really tiny.
Mm.
Which is I don't know. That's just a fun and cool map idea. But no, I enjoyed it. It didn't really have any maps that I remember being like horrible that I never wanted to play. Um, but none of the maps were too special.
Mm-hmm. So I've got Throwback, Precinct, and Crusher. So three maps that you didn't even mention again. Again, the
Yeah,
maps were pretty good.
yeah,
There wasn't any map that, oh no, comes to mind that was terrible. There probably was
right.
one, but again, you probably just skip that. If it came up, you just, yeah, I'm backing out.
Yep.
And then
And then
zombies.
zombies. Did you play it in this game?
No.
No. Okay. That's I. Although I totally get it. This is one of the more like just fun zombies experiences. Because of the look and the vibe of everything. Um, whole story is that you get taken in by this like theater director who puts you in a ritual and like actually puts you in his movies. Um, and each movie kind of shows a different decade. Where I think the first one is like I want to say the 80s or the 70s.
Well, that's
And it's like a
zombies in
disco
Spaceland.
theme park.
So
Go ahead.
probably, well, you landed on the moon in like what, 1969? So it was around then. Because it was like zombies in Spaceland, so it's like all space, wasn't it? So
Right. Yeah.
I think it could have been like a 60s, 70s. I've played
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Which is super fun. The Easter egg is complicated, but it's super fun. Um, and you had the traps that were all like normal carnival games turned into traps. I mean, my favorite one is the big alligator mouth that you walk through. You can make it a trap where it slam down on the zombies. Um, and when you died too, you could play like skee ball and stuff like that to get tickets to revive yourself. Um, that was super fun. I think this game it wasn't great for like Easter eggs and hardcore zombies fans, but from a casual perspective, it was just so different, so colorful, and just so fun. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I enjoyed what I played, but like I've never been a massive zombies player. It's always been
Yeah.
multiplayer for me. And yeah, I mean it looked a lot of fun. Zombies in Spaceland, I mean people rave about it. Um
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, that's like zombies was always the trophies that I never got. So maybe one day I need to go back and get them.
Yeah.
Rating. What do you rate
Rated.
Infinite Warfare?
Um, I think yeah, just because of how amazing the campaign was, I enjoyed the multiplayer, and I thought the zombies was very fun. I'm gonna give it A tier. I think it's an A tier Call of Duty. Again, not on the level of BO1, BO2, those games, but it's there. It's Advanced Warfare levels of fun for me.
That makes sense. So if it was just the campaign, I'll probably give it an S tier because of the campaign. But
Yeah.
for me, I didn't really, as much as I liked the multiplayer, it wasn't as good as Black Ops 3. And I didn't really play zombies. And I don't think the zombies was as good as Black Ops 3 either. So I've given it a B tier. As much as
Okay.
I'd probably like to give it higher, I kind of want to spread my ratings out. And I think this one deserves a B. It was probably the worst jetpack game out of them. So obviously I'll give A to Advanced Warfare, give S to Black Ops 3. I think Infinite Warfare was the worst one when it came to the jetpack era. But I mean, I still love Jetpack Era. I'd love an Infinite Warfare too.
Right. Yeah, I get that. I wish they'd go back to it at least, try it. So
I don't think they ever will because of casuals. Casuals don't like it. They hated the
no.
last games to the casuals. Moving on to the roots of Call of Duty. World War II. Made by Sledgehammer. The people who introduced us to the jetpacks went back to boots on the ground back 60, 70 years ago. Like, it was
Yeah.
an extreme change from boots on the ground, space. Jesus. It was not a very good game to start with. I'm just going to put that out there, but what were your opinions?
I it was okay for me. I don't think I touched the campaign in this game. Um, at least I can't remember doing it. The multiplayer I actually did have fun with. This is the time where I got some of my older buddies that we used to play like MW2, MW3, BO2, those games with. They finally we got back together. So I think in the end that'll give this game a higher rating for me and a higher boost just because those memories are so good. We usually had at least 4 people in a party at a time playing this game, which was something I don't think I ever had in any other COD. Um, so that was fun, and the zombies I actually enjoyed. I liked how dark and like it was one of the more difficult zombies too, and it was very dark and grimy, which I thought as much as I liked the Infinite Warfare, the colorfulness, I liked the dark side of it too, and it was a good change of pace.
Well, I'm just going to go out straight away and say I never played the campaign or played zombies on World War II. This was a multiplayer only COD for me. However, I do have some notes for the campaign. So, they had some abilities, like your team could actually give you ammo, give you med packs and stuff like that. So that was one of the changes that I seen. Because I played the first mission and then I kind of gave up after that. It was one of those where I just didn't have time. And if I wanted to play, it would be the multiplayer side of things. I think also around World War II, did Battlefield come out with Battlefield 1 that
I'm
year?
not 100% certain.
Let me quickly search. Battlefield 1, it came out in 2016, which is very similar to when World War II came out. I spent most of my time on Battlefield 1. So, World War II was competing with Battlefield, definitely. Um, and I think Battlefield came out at the perfect time since everyone hated the space jetpacks. So
Yeah.
they cashed in on that, and I love Battlefield 1, but it's not a Battlefield podcast this week. It's a Call of Duty one. So back to it. Yeah. The one thing that came to mind with World War II is the headquarters social space. First type of
Oh,
space introduced like that. You spawn in, you've got people in front of you opening their supply drops, and you can have a cheeky look and see whether they got actual good things or not. That was fun. You also had the firing range to the right.
Mm-hmm.
You had inside the little bunker, you could buy contracts to get weapons, and I don't know what it was called. Um, Armory credits, I think it was called, that you could
I
buy stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but now that you're bringing that up, that whole like social space, that was part of the reason I love this game so much. Um, or I guess as much as I did. Um, but like opening the supply drops with all the friends looking around, you get hyped and that kind of thing. And then I personally, the contract thing is kind of what kept me going. Like I had a lot of fun doing those. It gave me just different play styles in multiplayer,
Hmm.
which I love because I hate just like essentially it being open ended and just like wanting needing to use the meta essentially if you want to have fun.
Yep.
Because this is kind of starting around that era too. Um, so the contracts kept me using different guns, fresh stuff.
Hmm.
So that was huge. That was fun.
A few more things that I want to mention for the headquarters. Like there was some like jump spots that you could get to. Like you could get to the top of the tower in the far end. You could also get on top of the bunker with certain jumps, which
Hmm.
I often failed a lot. And then probably the best part about the headquarters was the 1v1 pit. That was a lot of
Yep.
fun. I didn't do it much, but like of the times I did it with the leaderboard, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Um,
kind of early workings for the gulag. It seems like, but
yeah,
it was fun.
it kind of does. But it just gave another aspect to the multiplayer, which I
Hmm.
I loved it. The one thing I didn't like is having to go there to prestige. Like, oh, just let me prestige in the lobby so I can continue playing.
Yeah,
That's my only kind of like, not hate, but like dislike of the
yeah.
headquarters.
And I mean,
Um, I'm sorry.
did like any other COD end up doing that? Because just the more I think about it, the more I like really enjoyed that, and it gave it a different feel. I mean, it gave it like, you know, I've never been to war, but like when you're in, the barracks and stuff, like I don't know, it just was a feeling before getting like the session started or something along those lines. Like it was just cool. It was unique.
I don't think anything else has been created like it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
If they brought it back, I'll I'll go to the places and stuff. But I think there's less need for it now that there's no supply drops.
yeah,
And obviously accessibility just for quickness, you might as well just have it in the menu system. So they probably will never go to this again. So
yeah.
World War Two, the last of its kind. I enjoyed it. Um, it introduced war. So I'm pretty sure war was an old game mode brought back. It was an attack defense mode. It was a lot longer than the usual
Hmm.
game modes where it's like it lasts for 10 minutes or until you get 100 kills. Um, so that was actually a lot of fun. But if you had a good team against you, my goodness, this was horrific.
Hmm.
Especially, I'm pretty sure it was the one with the bunkers. You're trying to get off the beach into the bunkers. If they were a good team, my goodness, you were slaughtered on that beach. And it felt like real life because obviously, if you're in a bunker and they're storming off a beach, you have the high ground. You've got the weapons.
Right.
So, I mean, it was fair, but my goodness, give me a chance to move. You'd spawn in and just get sniped instantly because they know the spawns. It
Yeah.
was it was brutal, but fun. I'll give it the fun. It was
Hmm.
something different.
Yeah.
um, Obviously because of the movement changes back to boots, they didn't have specialists. They didn't have combat rigs. What they did have though was divisions.
Hmm.
And they give players bonuses depending on what level they were. So I've put the initial ones down, but these got overhauled because of just how broke they were, and people didn't like them to start with. When they overhauled them, my goodness, the game was more fun. Um,
Hmm.
so I never get to say this right. Expeditionary, I think it is.
Sounds right.
Gave. Hmm?
Sounds right.
I hope so, because I could never say that word. I've tried it so many times. Trust me. It gave shotguns the fire rounds. Hated it. Mountain, you were allowed to hold your breath while ADSing. Armored, you could mount your LMG.
Hmm.
Airborne, you could use a silencer on SMGs. And infantry, you had a bayonet on your AR. Once they got overhauled, them aspects of the divisions were given to everything, so that you weren't limited to just having a silencer on your gun. If you used airborne, I'm pretty sure made you go faster in the end with the
Yep.
overhaul. I absolutely loved the overhaul. Again, I just want to clarify, I didn't really play this game during its life cycle. I gave up probably in January, like 2 months after the game, because I didn't really
Yeah.
enjoy it. However, I came back to this game to do a Prestige Master Challenge. So I was going from Black Ops 4 all the way to Ghosts. I quit at IW. So I actually
Well,
played World War II. I got to Prestige Master. I loved World War II multiplayer. Because at first it was terrible. They did updates,
mm,
and the updates worked. The game was fun. World War II. It's a happy place for me now. It's a happy place.
yeah, yeah, it's a good game. Like I said, I enjoy it, and it has some of the best maps when it comes to these later Call of Duties. Um, what what do you have listed down for the maps?
Arden's Forest, of course. Flak Tower,
Yep,
Gibraltar, and
yep.
London Docks.
You nailed the four that I am looking at right now. The four. I mean, we can forget about Gustav Cannon. I don't think anyone likes that map.
It was good to snipe.
Um,
It
it
was a
was
fun
yeah, it
snipe.
was good for sniper. Um,
That's it.
but and then Aachen, I think, is the only other one I would add to that. I did really like Aachen. Um, but no, like you said, London Docks is one of my favorite maps. Period.
Hmm.
I enjoyed Flag Tower, and then Arden's Forest. The look of it, and it was very well put together. I mean, that left lane, like the difference in play with the left lane versus the right lane, I enjoy that. So
Yeah, agreed.
yeah, it was no, this was a good Call of Duty.
Best weapons for me, I've put the STG because that was my absolute go-to on this game.
Mm-hmm.
The bar, which was more of a heavy hitter but less bullets. The less bullets really did make it suck though at times. And the
Mm-hmm.
PPSH. That's for me anyway.
Yeah, yeah, they're all good guns. I personally really like the Type 100. I like the look of it. If I'm not mistaken, the iron sights were really really crisp on it.
Nice.
Um, so that was probably my most used gun outside of the STG because STG was just so good in this game. Um, it was so fun to use too. But
It
no,
was.
what would you rate this game?
Um, rating. Honestly, if it was at the start of the game, I'd probably give it a D. Honestly, the start was not very good. But honestly, they absolutely smashed it when it came to the updates.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a B. Because it could have been better. But it also could have been worse. One thing I do want to mention is one of the maps that they brought into the game. You were small and they had figures in like a sandbox. It was called.
Yeah, yep, Sandbox. That
Yeah,
was a good map.
that was a really good map. And they brought back shipment. One of my most iconic moments playing this game was I called in a V2 rocket on shipment. The V2 rocket exploded, and then after it exploded, Prestige Master icon popped up on my screen. The most
Wow.
iconic clip from my days of playing World War II was just me getting hyped that I got the V2 rocket, and again even more hyped because I just hit Prestige Master. It was like, oh my god, V2 rocket, oh Prestige, like oh, I was so good. So honestly, I probably could have given it an A, but I think I'm gonna give it a B.
Yeah, so that's where I'm putting it on my tier list B. It was a fine multiplayer. It was fun. I enjoyed the zombies. I think part of what hurts it, like I didn't play the campaign, so I guess I don't know if it was good. I can't really say it hurt it, but it wasn't anything special.
Hmm.
But it was like a good, fun Call of Duty. I did really enjoy it. So, and honestly, looking at the upcoming games, probably no, we'll get to it later. Cold War, but this is one of the last Call of Duties I actually enjoyed. So
Yeah. Moving on to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 now. What can I say? No campaign in a Call of Duty for the first time in its history, and it's never been replicated again. Having a Call of Duty with no campaign is not right for those who want to just play the story. I'm not surprised though, after having a shit campaign in Black Ops 3, that you don't want to focus on the campaign for Black Ops 4. But at least give us something. Like, honestly, I'd rather give us something, because it probably would have still been better than Black Ops 3. You could have given
right,
us one
right,
mission and I would have been happier than Black Ops 3, honestly. It was,
yeah, it's hard to get lower than that Black Ops 3 campaign.
right?
So usually like with Call of Duties, like the gameplay is a majority of it too, and usually I can like suffer through the campaign if I don't really enjoy it or something. But it was just so bad. Like it's crazy that it was a campaign. Both you and I played campaigns before multiplayer, and it was so bad that it knocked us off that trend. Like that, I don't know. I think that just speaks volumes. It's so bad.
Yeah. But this having no campaign is hilarious.
Yeah,
Um, they said they were focusing on the other three modes: multiplayer, zombies, and blackout. So
Blackout, which we will get to, but zombies. I guess where do you want to start?
we'll start with
Multiplayer.
multiplayer because that's like the main mode, and then we'll go zombies and then blackout to end.
Okay.
Um, so the main thing with Black Ops 4 multiplayer that was different to any other Call of Duty ever made was there was no regeneration of health. It was all manual. And yeah, it was quick. Like you heal and then like 2 seconds later you got your heal back. But just
Yep.
that time to actually stab yourself with the thing. It took a lot of strategy. Like it wasn't just like solely based on, oh, I've got to hide now. You could be more
Mm-hmm.
aggressive this way. Like you could still be shooting your weapon while healing up. And I guess
Yeah.
that was their go-to. They wanted it to be more of a fast-paced game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this game was actually the first one with specialists on a boots on the ground game. So they brought back the specialists from Black Ops 3, obviously without the jetpacks. So like the Prophet Tempest, War Machine Battery. There's a new one called Crash, which increased your max health to 200 for
Mm-hmm.
the time being, and then Recon with Vision Pulse. So you could see
Yep.
literally everyone in a red outline. Um, what was it? It was a clear focus that they wanted multiplayer to be the best. Like their sole focus was multiplayer. Like you could tell.
Yep.
Why else would you remove campaign? Like it didn't make sense. But
No,
honestly, the multiplayer was fun. You might disagree. You disagree.
I do.
Okay.
I do. This is, I think, the first COD where multiplayer was like my least played mode. I honestly played Blackout more. I didn't even play Blackout that much, but most of my time in this game was spent in zombies, which isn't honestly entirely too enjoyable. Like it's not an amazing zombies experience by any means, but it's what I played the most. I didn't really like the multiplayer, and I didn't really enjoy Blackout too much. I thought it was unique,
Mm-hmm.
but you could tell it was very, I guess, I don't want to say bare bones, but it was our first time trying this, and I didn't play it after it received significant updates. So I can't speak for now or how it was later on in the cycle, but early on it was very bare bones and pretty boring.
I have
Um,
to agree with you with the bare bones. Like again, this was a COD which I quit very soon after playing. Like it must have been like January again. But again, I went back to play with the Prestige Master Challenge and had so much more fun. And this is something that I'm gonna say now because there's no point waiting for the other ones. I feel now that Call of Duty is more fun when you play it outside of its life cycle. Because I played World War II out of its life cycle, I had so much fun with it. I played Black Ops 4 out of its life cycle, I enjoyed it so much. It just feels like nowadays with the games, they don't get it right at the start, but they start to get it right slowly throughout the life cycle of the game, and then
Yeah.
eventually they get a finishing product which is actually finished, and not
Right.
just half done. So, that's my opinion on Call of Duty. About 5 games too early, but I wanted to say now because I this is one of the first games that I came back to play while there was another life cycle going on. I never did that
Yeah.
before the next game. So, yeah. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed Black Ops 4 in 2019. So, that's
Wow.
why my grade will probably be higher than yours at the end. Um,
Mm-hmm. This,
I'm, sorry.
so this is receiving um, probably the lowest grade out of most of them. I mean, we'll get to it. Another game will join it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like spoiler. It's going to be one of the lowest. So
So, I'm going to ask for your best maps, but since you didn't play multiplayer, I don't know if you'll have any.
Arsenal is the only one. Arsenal was on this game, right?
Yep.
I think so. The only one. Otherwise, the rest of them just felt. I don't know. I don't know what happened with maps going from this game forward, but didn't like really any of them. Any of them
Mm-hmm.
besides our.
Okay, so I've got Arsenal. Hacienda, I think that's how you pronounce it. It was like the square building and like the courtyard in the middle.
Yep.
I enjoyed that map. And then I've also put Seaside, with like the tank in the church. I enjoyed that map a lot. Uh, best weapon?
Um, not gonna. Another one I don't remember too much. All the LMGs I remember because I played zombies and LMGs are just king in zombies. Um, but honestly, the ICR-7
Yeah.
was probably the only AR I really remember using. I mean, I do remember the KN-57 a little bit,
Yep.
but like I said, LMGs were king in zombies. So, like the Hades, I remember using. The Hades is I love, and
Mhm.
so
So yeah, I've got the ICR because that was my favorite gun in the game by far. You had the Maddox, which was a faster fire rate AR, which I think was mainly used in competitive over the ICR just because of the fire rate. You had the Sorg, which was the SMG, and you also had the Spitfire. I'm pretty sure on this game as well. I actually don't know what the gun was on Black Ops 3. I think I've lied. I don't think it was Spitfire. I think it was called something else that my friend did for me. The really fast fire rate.
oh right.
I don't think it was
No,
Spitfire now. If it was, I've absolutely guessed it.
I say
Uh,
you. It didn't sound off when you said it.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm just gonna go and quickly confirm um, that it was Spitfire. It was something beginning with S. It was a fast fire rate gun. That's
Yeah.
all I remember. Um, bum, 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 bum. The Vesper. It
Oh,
was the
that's yep.
Vesper. Oh my goodness, what a fail. But yeah, that was the gun that he was doing for me, not the Spitfire. Spitfire is very similar, but just in the wrong game. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Wrong Black Ops, wrong Black Ops. But yeah, one of the cool things in this game was the tier upgrades for attachments. It's like you could have high caliber 1, which was increased headshot damage, and then you could have high caliber 2, which is anything neck up.
No.
So like you could do extra damage. It was very strategic on what you use because you had to have the first one to have the second one. Um, so yeah, I think this one was also a pick 10 system as well. So you had to be smart with what you picked.
Right.
I'm gonna let you lead us on with zombies because again, I did not play this. I saw gameplay of like IX and it was like in the gladiator thing, but I didn't play it.
Yeah, I think the settings is part of what carried the zombies in this game. The main one I dumped time into was Voyage of Despair, which is a setting on the Titanic, which I know a lot of people don't necessarily like because it's kind of a convoluted map. There's a lot of corners and places to get stuck on. Um, but the setting, and then it was actually one of the first Easter eggs that I set out right away to do, but then actually completed. And I also know that from what I know from the zombies community, that boss fight in that game is, or in that map, is regarded as one of the best too in general. So I'm glad that was one I got to play. Um, it was tough doing that Easter egg though. There's so much crashing because we were playing from day one trying to get that Easter egg. There was one step that had a crash on it, and it was essentially a like a 50-50 shot if it was going to crash or not. So very frustrating, but in the end, it made it very fun. You said 9, cool setting, gladiator arena, and the perk systems too. You could essentially select your own perks and which machine they went into before the game, which I thought was super cool. It allowed for each member of your party to kind of play and play a different way. And the zombies in this game too had their own, I guess, sort of specialists.
Okay.
Cool. There's different overpowered weapons, so if you got in the shit, you could just spam that and try to get yourself out. So zombies was okay. Again, not the best experience, but I did like it. I think it's carried though by the setting and the fact that it was the first Easter egg I completed.
Okay. And then Blackout. Blackout, the first battle royale that Call of Duty attempted. Obviously at the time, battle royales were out and they were exploding in popularity. So, I mean, this effort from Call of Duty, I liked it. I fully enjoyed it. I think I played this more than the multiplayer at the start. Because it was all iconic maps brought into one big map. So what wasn't it like? There was Nuketown, there was Array, there was Raid, there was Fire and Range. Like having all these maps in just one, and you could land wherever you wanted and fight other people. I thoroughly enjoyed Blackout. There was a lot of cool moments on there. Honestly, Blackout, it's kind of like a blur to me. So,
Yeah, I got like one win on it. That's what I remember. I do. I go back and look on it because I took a Snapchat video of me winning it because I was playing it before any of my brothers, and I was like, "It's so good! Like it's so fun!" Because it was my first game, and I just happened to win it,
yeah.
and then I just remember playing like 4 more, and I was like, "This is hell!" And like, no, it was fun. Like it was okay for COD and trying the battle royale. I mean, they could have done so much better with it with all the resources they have. But I also don't know how soon into the how late into the cycle they started developing Blackout. And I don't know, you were kind of talking about the POIs on the map. I can't remember what spot it was, but there was a spot where like a graveyard and everything where the zombies would actually come out and you could attack them.
Asylum.
Asylum, yeah, there you go. That was cool too. So they had a lot of good things to like build off of, but it was just you could tell it didn't have a full like effort put into it because they didn't want to fully gamble on it and make it the focal point of the game, but they tried it.
I think at the time when they made this as well, they were probably planning on just like every single Call of Duty game to probably have its own battle royale. So I feel like this was their first attempt, and they were probably like gearing up to make like a Blackout 2. But
Right.
obviously, that didn't happen. Um, so what they did was like I'm pretty sure they set the stone for what Warzone is, because
Yeah.
they had armor in Blackout. And after an update, because at first, if your armor broke, you couldn't repair it. Like, you just had to find a new one. After an update, they introduced plates so you could repair the armor. What does that happen on now? Wasn't. Like,
Yep.
and then they also had a smaller map, which was Alcatraz. What does Warzone have now? Always a smaller map in the sense of, like, Rebirth Island and stuff like that. So, I think the stuff that Blackout did was, like, the stepping stones that were needed for the new Battle Royale that was coming out.
Yep.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think Blackout deserved another go. I think it deserved to be more popular than it was.
And
Sorry?
I prefer it to Warzone purely for the fact that it is a like fully self-contained mode. I'm a big hater on the fact of Warzone. I know you can level up the guns in Warzone, but it is slower and everything, and it's just more beneficial to go to multiplayer to upgrade those weapons for Warzone. I don't like that system. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. And having your own loadout for Battle Royale, like it, for me, it takes a point away from it. Because part of the point of DRs for me is like you have to each game your loadout varies differently just depending on what you can loot up, and Warzone takes that completely out of it, which is fun to me.
And that's what Blackout did. You had to find the weapons, you had to find attachments and stuff like that. So I think that's what made Blackout so much more fun in that sense, because it kind of reminds me of Apex without the advanced movement.
Yep.
It's like Blackout was very similar to that, and yeah, like you mentioned, it was a separate mode. It wasn't related to multiplayer. Multiplayer still had its prestiges. Blackout, I think, had some leveling system as well, but it could be mistaken. I think it was mainly based on wins, though. I think it was based on wins. Like, if you got a certain amount of wins, you got a certain rank.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think after this game, we'll talk about it. The fact that it was entwined with Battle Royale and multiplayer, it got worse. What do you give Black Ops 4? I know it's gonna be bad. It's okay.
Yeah. It's a D.
It's a D. Okay. I mean, I'm actually not surprised about that. I'm gonna give it a C.
Okay.
Because again, no campaign. Okay. Multiplayer was only fun after the life cycle. Like during the game, I didn't enjoy it at all. And Blackout, again, could have been better. I enjoyed it. And I never played zombies. So I wrote down C originally. I've put B, and now I'm scrapping the B and going back to C. Because I think this is actually the worst Black Ops that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah, it is. And to me, it's weird because I want to say it's the start of the downslide of Call of Duty.
You've just given it the worst rank ever.
but then we'll get to it later. But I actually liked Cold War. So it's the start of the slip, and then Cold War is just kind of I don't want to say a diamond in the rough because it's not a diamond, but it's the bright spot out of this like whole section of Call of Duty. Like from 2018 on, horrible Call of Duties, and then Cold War is just a little bit better. And I don't think we didn't even talk about some of the maps in this game, did we?
Yeah, we talked about them. Arsenal, Hacienda, and Seaside for me.
Right. I'm fully ahead of myself. I'm thinking of Modern Warfare already.
He's eager, everyone. He's eager. He just wants to get the topic done.
I hate Modern Warfare. Like the game that killed my love, because even Black Ops 4, even though I didn't like the multiplayer, Blackout and Zombies was still enough for me to like want to get COD the next time it released.
Yep.
And Modern Warfare was the first one that killed it. Luckily, Cold War looked interesting enough to me to get it, and we'll talk about it. You and I set up a challenge for each other that helped me want to get it. But Modern Warfare is just, it's the killer of all that I loved about Call of Duty. So I'm excited talk about it.
Yeah. Well, let's make a start on it. So, Modern Warfare 2019, a reboot slash remake of the original Modern Warfare trilogy, bringing back the most loved characters of Soap, Price, Ghost, and I guess all the villains as well. They're loved even though they're villains. You know, you can love a villain for being good at what they do, but like also love killing them in the game when you do it. um, what were your thoughts on Modern Warfare? I know you've held back for the whole podcast about this game. Now is your chance to unleash.
This game is so goddamn bad. I hate it with every bone in my body. Call of Duty used to be like my favorite franchise. Like, look forward to it every year until this piece of shit came out. Like, dude, it was so bad. Like, I did not have fun on this game at all. The maps were horrible. There was like one good map. I mean, you had, I think, like Piccadilly is it not considered one of the worst maps like ever? Piccadilly's so bad. I hated it. Euphrates Bridge, stupid, horrible, bad map. Azir Cave, horrible map. Guns were horrible. The stupid like Alpha Bravo Charlie system for the guns, stupid, unnecessary. I like they took away the radar when you fire and stuff. That was stupid. I There just I don't know. There's so many decisions in this game I just hated. I don't know. Was that too harsh?
I no. Um Okay, let's start with the campaign then for me.
Yeah.
The campaign was, in my opinion, excellent. Like it was a good reboot of what the original game was. Obviously, it went away from like that storyline kind of with Zakhaev. You're now in this fancy country that they made up, Urkistan. So I didn't realize that they made up that country until the other day. I thought they did, but like it confirmed it when I looked, if that makes sense. So like I
Oh,
thought it
okay.
was a
Okay. Yeah.
fictional country, but then obviously straight up, because it could have just been them misspelling Uzbekistan or whatever, however you pronounce
Oh
it.
yeah. Right.
So I didn't know
Yeah.
if they meant that country, but obviously they didn't. Um, but no, I thought it was pretty good. Especially the clean house mission. That is one of the best missions I think in Call of Duty history. The fact that you're going in stealthy, you're like breaching through a door, like honestly, that's kind of one of my favorite things, and I honestly need to play Ready or Not because I've seen gameplay of it. It looks incredible. It looks very
Yeah.
difficult though. It looks very very difficult. So I might need to just get some people on it. Um, but no, I think the campaign was incredible. I don't have that much to say on it. I played it twice, I think. Um, but yeah, the ending was a bit. Yeah, I'll talk about it in MW2 because it leads
Okay.
on. It all these games lead on. But like something at the end happens, and then in MW2 it's kind of like no, it didn't. So yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. But multiplayer, my three things I've put at the start. It's too dark. It's too campy, aka they can hide in the dark. You run in there, you're dead. It was honestly the most slow-paced Call of Duty I have ever seen. Like,
Mhm.
if you're camping on this game, what the fuck are you doing? Like, everyone else is camping. You're not seeing anyone for the entire game. It was terrible. You're either in the cave, head glitching this little wall all the way through, so if someone comes in, you then got the little ladder bit where someone will just be at the top looking down, or in the
Mhm.
bloody little crawling space, just there waiting for you to come around the corner. It's just, oh my goodness, this game just frustrated me. And you know what? I'm gonna put out that I had a 1.5 KD. You can't even say I had a bad game at this. Like most people are like, oh, you're just bad at the game. No, I wasn't. I was actually pretty good at it. But guess what? It was a pile of shit. It was terrible. And people keep saying it was a good campaign. No, good multiplayer. It wasn't. It was terrible.
No.
They brought attack sprint so that I could die quicker when I run into the campers. Because you're caught with your gun up in the air, not even ready to shoot. And then when you do shoot, I mean, you're dead. Because they're already there shooting at you. It's just like, sure, that's a skill issue to some people. I mean, even watching competitive, this game was boring as fuck. Like, it was so bad. Like, even normally, S&D is normally fun on any game. It was so dead. Like, And another thing for the competitive, Activision took control and made it franchising. My goodness, maybe the worst decision I've ever seen in my life. 25 million buy-in, I think it was. Each and every org had to do. So we lost some of the fan favorite organizations that we used to have. LG, no longer a thing. Obviously Optic are still a thing, but they went to Chicago Huntsmen because of the Hex thing, and they sold the team. So it was, Optic was still there, but it wasn't the real Optic. It wasn't Hex's Optic, so that was Slash's Optic, and yeah, screw him. But yeah, this game was terrible. One of the only good things that they done with this game was introducing cross-platform, so that you could play with more people. That's something that they did a lot. To be honest, introduction to the massive amount of attachments, it's a good thing because it can be more variety. It's to your play style. It can be a little confusing, but then because of this metas, the meta, what's the word? Meta era, would you call it? Is in play. Everyone was using pretty much the same guns. And that's not just for Modern Warfare. That's every game after this. Another horrible decision, and I hate that they've kept it every single year. The removal of the classic prestige system. Unifying with Warzone is potentially the worst thing they've ever done in Call of Duty history. Bring back the Prestige Masters. We didn't actually mention it for the Black Opses. That once you hit Prestige Master, you have 1,000 levels to unlock as well. We forgot to mention that. Probably because it was a good system. You could carry on leveling up even after being Prestige Master. That is fine. It gave you something to do. This shit? Holy fuck. You got to max prestige. You've got to wait till the next season. Why? Let me level up. Like, I guess you could be, when you hit level 1,000, like, you've got nothing to play for. That's level 1,000. Holy shit, that took you ages to get. This is the first month of the game, and you're stopping me from leveling up. It made the game pointless. I hate Modern Warfare just for this. I hate Activision just for this. It made CoD unplayable for those who want to progress. The options was there for the normal casual player. Get to level 55, you don't have to prestige. It was an option. It wasn't forced upon you. You could do what you want. You're forced now to wait. You had nothing to do. There was challenges, there was camos, but the leveling system, you have to wait. It bothered me. Absolutely bothered me. And then I'll bring it down to a good thing. Gunfight, 2v2, 3v3. Loved it. I know you mentioned that it was classes made for you. You couldn't bring in your own, but I kind of liked the variety. But I think Gunfight was the only one of the only good things about this game. I have actually put some best maps and best weapons though. Hackney Yard and Gunrunner for the maps. The only two bearable maps. And again, they didn't have that many maps to begin with at the start of the game. which made it unplayable as well because you want these 2 maps and that's it basically to play. And that's one of the issues with these newer CODs. They don't have enough variety at the start of the game. After everything comes out, let's say season 4, there's probably enough maps to actually play Call of Duty and have fun with it, and it's not repetitive. There is another one, the St. Petrograd. Forgot about that map. I hope I said it right. That was also it was decent. It was a good comp map.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Best weapons, M4, MP5, and the Kilo. And then when it was season added, the Growl was also very good. But yeah, what are you gonna rate this game?
F.
F.
I hate it. I know I said earlier that something was going to be joining in the D tier, but no.
Yeah.
Like, as we've talked about it, this game did so much wrong and did maybe one thing right. It is horrible. It's an F.
I've put it as a D. For the fact that the campaign was good. I enjoyed the campaign.
I never got around to playing it, so I don't have that good side to this game. All I have is just suffering memories. So,
and another thing that I've put down is like the removal of map packs and seasons. Like it was constant updates, aka just bringing back like remake maps and here and there to make it the map pool a bit bigger. I give that a little bit of a positive because you know what, I do like seasons because it's free updates for the players. You don't have to buy the map packs, which were like extremely priced. But that extreme price now is for the main game. Like you have to buy like the game for like £20 more than what it used to be. So yeah, there's a catch-22 here. Now I pay more for the game, but I get the seasons for free, probably to just try and get you back in it. So yeah, I'm giving it a D. I'm not giving any Call of Duty an F. I'm just putting that out there now. D is my lowest. So this is the lowest. Nothing is joining MW 2019. This is the worst COD in history, in both of our opinions, apparently.
Yeah.
People love it. If you love it, fair enough. Let us know why, because I don't understand. But you know, maybe you'll be able to like get my grade up to a C, because honestly, people can try. It's not getting up to an A or B. Not a chance.
Yeah,
it was disgustingly bad.
Yeah.
The one thing that saved it though, and this game would have been dead if they didn't bring this mode. Warzone. If Call of Duty did not introduce Warzone with Modern Warfare 2019, my god, COD would have been buried. And I would have stomped on it. And I would have been fine with it. I could have moved on. But Warzone saved it. But you've also said that you didn't play much, so.
No, I really didn't. The most hours I put into it was probably like 5 or 6, and that was when the Growl with the 357 Magnum snake shots was the meta. And I was a dirtbag and used that exact loadout. So, but that was the only way I could have fun, because that was my main issue with Warzone. You could bring your own classes into it, so everyone just used the best loadout possible, and they got it every game. It took, like I mentioned earlier on in the podcast, it took the like looting aspect of the battle royale out, which is one of my favorite parts of it. So I couldn't stand it.
No, that's fair. So I enjoyed it. It was definitely the better decision to go with Warzone over Blackout, in my opinion. Because Warzone was just bigger. You know, the map was, in my opinion, better as well. It was unique. Verdansk. Bring it back, please. Yeah, I don't know. Just Warzone with friends was, for me, what people play Apex for and stuff like that. Fortnite. Because obviously we're just coming off of like a massive Fortnite, playing it all the time. That was the game that stopped me from playing a lot of Black Ops 4, I believe, was Fortnite. I was trying to think the other day, like, what game was it that stopped me from playing these multiplayers? And like I
Hmm.
played separately because like I played for 1-2 months. What games were I playing? I think it was Fortnite for Black Ops 4. Um, so yeah, Warzone came out. Give it a go. Loved it. Yeah. The loadout is, again, I agree with you. What with this loadout is probably a really bad decision in my opinion, but like people love it. It's unique to just Call of Duty. Not in every
Hmm.
other battle royale, you don't have your career class. You've got to find the weapons. So like that's where Warzone's unique. So like it's a selling
Yeah.
point. I don't think you should be able to buy them because then that just gets rid of the look. It should be like the crate comes in, but like have 3 crates instead of 2 to make it a little bit more common. Just so
Hmm.
that they're not worried about it. But yeah, let's go over the maps. So you had Verdansk to start with. Then they introduced the smaller map with Rebirth, which honestly reminded me a lot of the Alcatraz map in Blackout. Like a lot of
Hmm.
similarities in that map. So I thought it was the same map. Apparently, it wasn't. I didn't play it though. I've not played any of the Resurgence maps.
Okay.
Verdansk 84. Again, I only played Verdansk, so if my opinion on it is different to everyone else's, it's probably because I've only played the original Verdansk. I stopped playing Warzone after that. So Verdansk 84 came out. It was more of like a throwback. I think that was after the nuke went off in the Verdansk.
Hmm.
And then that was with Cold War. And then from Cold War to Vanguard, Caldera. And now I know a lot of people didn't like Caldera. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know really why. I never played it. And they also had Fortune's Keep in season 4 of Vanguard, which I think that got good positive vibes from that.
I think so.
Um, Again, we're not going to mention Warzone 2 because that comes out later, even though it's the same thing. But for me, Warzone, you got the contracts to complete to earn cash, which most of them are really easy. They did introduce one within like season 1 or 2 where you had a crown on your head, but you were like a target on the map. But if you
Oh
survive
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
people come back, so you didn't have to
Yep.
buy. That actually cost me some money. Because I was in a tournament. We forgot about the new update because we hadn't played, and because of them spawning back in, we lost the last fight. Yeah, we could have won £100. Um, I played the next map, we won. So like we could have got back-to-back wins and got like two hundred
All right.
pound, but yeah, we only won one, so we won £100. Obviously, split between the 4 of us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my only cash point. My only winnings in Call of Duty history is Warzone because I don't really compete for money, but
Yeah.
it was like an event that I wanted to join in just for fun. Um, it wasn't fun. It was more of a nerve-wracking experience. Buy stations, again, pretty unique just to Call
Hmm.
of Duty. Obviously in Apex you've got the crafting, but you've not really got a buy system with
Right.
cash. So you could buy like UAV, you could buy your loadout, you could buy people back into the game, which again is another selling point. You're not out the game when you die because you've got the
Hmm.
gulag as well, and that's
Oh
another
yeah.
selling point of Warzone. Gulag actually made it really interesting. You gotta win your one-on-ones. You gotta
Hmm.
win. Honestly, there was some times where I'd win all of them, and then some days where I just got absolutely shit on every single day, and it's just there
Yeah.
like, get me out. But then I've got Plunder, the cash mode, pretty fun. You have to be the
Hmm.
first to 1 million, I think it was.
Yep.
If you died, you lose some. In-season events every season. I mean, I think they really copied Fortnite because obviously Fortnite's massive events were, the key sellers. Like everyone was watching. It brought people back to the game, like the Travis Scott concert. Even I
Mhm.
joined in for that. I just wanted to be there. It was fun. um, and then obviously you got Resurgence with smaller maps. Um, I put for Warzone, it's very slow paced. It's extremely slow paced. Obviously, the pros speed it up by being on their own, and they can take out teams of 4 on their own because they're incredible. But like me and my friends, we would just be driving around. But if you don't see anyone, it's boring.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess in every battle royale, it can be boring if you go the wrong way and you don't actually go for fights. Apex is faster paced. Fortnite's even faster paced.
Mhm.
So yeah, COD, you could just hide in a building and camp until the gas. There's two styles of players in battle royales. The ones who stay around the gas and just make sure there's no one behind them, and there's obviously those who try and get central as possible and shoot outwards. Um, Honestly, depending on how the circle went at the start, we played differently. Obviously, because if we were in the middle, we stayed in the middle. If it was we needed to move, we stayed on the edge and just try to work our way in. Um,
Mhm.
and then, as I mentioned in Modern Warfare 2019, meta, I hated it. I hated it
Mhm.
most of the time. If you didn't play a certain meta, I'm pretty sure there was a meta with Kilo and an ACOG scope because it was just accurate and
Mhm.
oh, terrible. LMG's meta, I think that's when I stopped playing because I played during the Growl and I played during the Kilo metas. But then when the pistols and the fire shotguns came in, I was like, yeah, that's me done.
Yep.
um,
Understandable.
yeah, just it's just painful when you come up against the same guns constantly, and it's like you've got to use them to compete.
Mhm.
Mm. But I'm giving Warzone an A just for the fact that it was and it still is a competitor to like the big battle royales.
Yeah.
Are you putting a ranking on Warzone or are you saying did not
Yeah.
play?
I think I can give it its respect. I'll put it at C because me personally, I didn't have fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I see the appeal behind it. I did actually love watching it. Like I loved watching. Was it Warzone Wednesdays? But like the one where Vic Star and his teammate they repeat champion like 3 weeks in a row. Watched all three of those streams live. Like quarantine Warzone, I guess I would say,
Mm-hmm.
is kind of where my ranking comes in. But yeah, I'll give it its respect. It's a C.
Fair enough. I just remember one of the most iconic moments, and since I'm an Optic fan for competitive Warzone Solos tournament, Scump winning in the 1v1 against Aiden. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my god. That kill was shown everywhere. It was insane.
Mm-hmm. I do remember that.
And he didn't play with a riot shield. Fuck your riot shields. I hated
Yeah.
them. Like ah,
The
you
the
just
riot shields with the sticks.
yeah, and you just threw the sticks thing, you couldn't really shoot them. Like, oh, that was horrible. I hated that meta. I'm so glad he won and like get kind of give them the fuck you to the meta. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't have the better player won. I'm just saying that. If you put them in competitive COD, they wouldn't be able to do anything. The king
All right.
the king won and I was so happy. Okay.
Unreal.
This is a COD that you enjoyed more, so I'll let you start off with this one. Call of Duty Cold War.
Okay. So yeah, after Modern Warfare, I kind of written off Call of Duty. I was like, I'm not gonna buy it, and ended up actually liking the look of Cold War. Um, and I think the main thing that got me back into it was the fact that the camo grind looked actually enjoyable, and that was going to be my whole purpose of playing this
Mhm.
time around. Well, first to mention too is the first Call of Duty that actually had a PS5 version. I didn't have a PS5 at this point, but
I
it's
did.
still good to mention. Yeah. But no, I think I can't remember how long it was before release, but I wasn't even planning on purchasing it until we talked and you sent me a link to like the camo challenges, and I was like, you know what, this actually looks pretty fucking fun. So then we actually challenged each other to race the dark matter. I bowed out pretty early though, just because I it got repetitive, and it although I enjoyed it more than 2019, I still didn't enjoy it like entirely too much.
Hmm.
And at this point, there's a bunch of other games I was playing, like I think Smite. I was playing Smite a bunch around this time. Yeah, I know you don't like that game. Um, Smite is shite, as you say.
Yes,
Um,
it is.
yeah, I did like the camo grind. That was the part that made it the most fun.
Hmm.
Um, what about you though? What's like your initial opinion?
So I think one of the biggest talking points was this game was not supposed to come out in 2020. Um, Sledgehammer's game, Vanguard, I'm pretty sure it was, that they were developing was an absolute mess. So Activision went to Treyarch and asked them to speedrun pretty much a Call of Duty, and that is Cold War. So it was a shorter development to what they wanted. So like this was the first time in a very long time there was Infinite Ward, Treyarch, Infinite Ward, Treyarch. Like normally it was Sledgehammer, no Treyarch, Infinite Ward, Sledgehammer, and they got out of that circle now because of this COD.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I need to play the campaign. Obviously, it's all about Cold War. I haven't played it yet. I have re-downloaded Cold War though since the first part of the podcast. So I'm gonna go for the platinum. But there's a trophy now, which is the game mode. Obviously, 3 years later, 4 years later, is pretty much empty. So you've got to get
Mm-hmm.
online at the right time. I thought multiplayer was much better than the last one. Um, People didn't like it though. People thought Modern Warfare was better than Cold War, and I really just didn't see that at all. Like, I just enjoyed the maps. Some of them.
Yeah.
There is still bad maps like Cartel. Really, what the fuck? I don't want to be hiding in the bushes. That map was terrible. So yeah, there was still really bad maps, but I played through them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could. I enjoyed the gunplay. I had a challenge for the camos. Um, there was field loadouts, so like you could throw a trophy system. You didn't have to put it in your like equipment. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was actually a field loadout, so you could do dead silence. This is why we said in the last one, perks dead silence. It was removed from the game. It's now a field loadout, so like most of the time for competitive or S&D, you were loud. And I hated it. You had to pretty much crouch everywhere to not be heard. And even then, you were
Yeah.
still heard. So you had to wait for your dead silence, which is really annoying. And if I was a trophy player, I'm pretty sure, when we played ranked. So, like, I was always heard. I never had dead silence. So I threw my trophy and then, yeah. I wonder where he is. I wonder. He could be on the moon. Because sometimes they were loud. Like, and I think one of my pet peeves for this game was your teammates' footsteps were actually louder than the enemies. And it, honestly, you could hear your teammates, and you just there like, is that a teammate? And then you look at the map, and you're like, oh yeah, clearly. So that was one of my. I didn't even write that down, but yeah, that was one of my pet peeves. Um, I've put lack of maps at launch again. Lack of development meant less maps. I think there was like 8,
Mm-hmm.
so it kind of made it repetitive. So I think I actually took a break from multiplayer side of things, and I went to actually play zombies. Oh shoot, what have I done?
Yeah, say my camera's black now. There we go.
Okay, there you go. You went off for a second. Apologies. Don't know what happened there. But yeah, I went to zombies while I couldn't be bothered playing multiplayer because of the lack of maps. And zombies was a
Mm-hmm.
really, really fun experience. The fact that you could take whatever weapon you wanted in straight away. Um, and they had a good camo grind as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I never completed the zombies camo grind, but I need to make sure. I think I completed Cold War Dark Matter. I'm 99% sure. I think I said it earlier on that I did. I'm not doubting myself. But I'm 99% sure I did get it because I was going pretty hard on it. I was streaming it at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, when the seasons came out and ranked came out, I started playing again, and I have a huge controversy that happened at the start of the game. And I'm mentioning his name again because he's the king. Scump. He acted Call of Duty. Well, he actually didn't act Call of Duty, but he messaged this. How does Call of Duty not get released with a rank playlist every year? I'm generally confused. It should be a staple, but it gets ignored. Interesting to think about. So obviously, he's right. No ranked every single year at the start of the game. You know, what are they doing? Like, you can just literally copy and paste what you had in the last game into this game and just let, like, kind of the pros handle it if needs be, because, you know, they're the ones who play it professionally.
Right.
David Vonderhaar replied to him, and this reply absolutely stinks. And this is why I don't really like David Vonderhaar anymore. He is incredible for making the games, but his persona, his whole attitude during Cold War and the development of Cold War is disgusting, because obviously Modern Warfare got hit with hate, then Cold War got hit with hate, and he didn't take it very well. So let me just talk about his response. So he put, "Let me rewrite that for you. You can thank me later. I'm really looking thankful for all the hard-working men and women trying to give us a ranked playlist." He's trying to guilt trip Scomp, saying, yeah, you should be thanking us for making it. No, it should be there now. Just because you're not good enough to make a ranked mode from the start does not mean we should have to wait. We're your consumers. We want it at launch. Like, and there's a lot of messages in Reddit, because I went to the Reddit post. It's like, someone put, "I like Vaughn, but this response sucks. Scump has a legitimate criticism, and he's getting a condescending response." And then someone else put, "Rare miss from Vondi. It wasn't during Cold War, I can tell you that. These players owe absolutely nothing to the devs. In the first year of franchising, we literally didn't get a ranked playlist. MW 2019, no ranked at all. And the devs cannot take a high ground." So, yeah. Listen, the tweet absolutely stunk. It was entitlement, like, "Oh, look, we made you a game." Like,
Mm-hmm.
but the ranked mode should be in from the start. Like, and it's still not. Like, it's season 1 of every game. Like, you could have the mode in Call of Duty from the start, 4v4 mode, which was competitive. You don't have to get everything right to start with. But then season 1, you can start the leaderboards. So you can have the pre-season and just have everything unlocked, and then after that, you'd be like, okay, these are the guns that are banned. Or do it like during the mid-season as you're learning. This season, this map's banned, this weapon's banned, this mode is now banned. Or just like keeping it updated as the pros go, because clearly you're only playing ranked to be like the pros. Like, you
Right.
want to get master. You definitely want to get the best ranking. So yeah, I don't know. I hated that response, and I needed to bring it up because, like, Wonderhard was like essentially God
Yeah.
for the Black Ops fans. Like, we praise him, but after Cold War, I'm done with him. Like, I'm absolutely done with his responses. And it was just, he was complaining, he was whining on Twitter, and just like, yeah, listen, you've made 4 good CODs, because obviously Black Ops 4 was a bit, but Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, and this one, because the Cold War was good. So you made 4 good CODs, and you're getting above yourself now. Like, he's just asked for something, and you're whining. So
Yeah.
yeah, moving on. Best maps. Moscow, Crossroads, Garrison are my top 3.
I really like Checkmate. I for I completely forgot about Moscow, in all honesty. But no, I got Checkmate, Garrison, and Crossroads Strike
Mhm.
listed. So, I also you didn't mention it when you were talking about horrible maps, but Miami was in this game. That map stunk. That was
Yeah,
bad.
and the fact that it was in ranked as well, S&D.
Yeesh.
Oh no, honestly, like when we got that map on, we were just there like, oh, we hated it. We
Yeah.
absolutely hated it, and I think the pros did too.
Hmm.
Um, going back to Scub, I think that's the only map ever in Call of Duty history. He dropped a donut in a competitive game. He dropped a donut in Miami S&D. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure like Methods was trolling him because of it, and it was
Wow.
Miami.
It is such a bad map, though. It is horrible.
It is terrible. Best weapons. I mean, we spoke about it before. Krieg, XM4, and I've actually introduced a sniper, LW3 Tundra, because that gun was actually
Oh,
really nice.
see, I also introduced a sniper. I put the Pellington, though. I
I
prefer the Pellington over the LW3.
think it was
So,
because that gun. I'm pretty sure we used in rank 10. I have my infamous clip on raid where I jump shot someone head glitching the window. So like, do you
hmm.
know where laundry is with the kitchen
Hmm.
side? So there's this little wall that you could jump on the back of and jump over to have a look at where the bomb is.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I jumped, I saw him, and then jumped up again and quick scoped him,
Oh, wow.
and then won the 1v1 to win the round afterwards. So like, it's like, oh, that's play of the game. But yeah, I had a nice clip on ranked.
Nice.
um, okay, so there are weapons. Zombies mode again. Let's go to that. Did you play much of zombies?
I did actually. This is another one that I grinded from the start, kind of, and we actually completed the Easter egg in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which was super fun. I enjoyed this map a lot. It had really good train spots. Um, which it was like the first time that I ever learned like an area of a map and just trained in it for high rounds. Because that was really fun in this mode. You could go for high round and then still kind of beat the map by extracting. So
Mm-hmm.
it was fun to just go super high round. And I mean, I did go for camos and that kind of stuff. It was a good zombies. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I just love the fact that the end game wasn't necessarily I have to die. You could
Yeah.
get out. Like that was one of my most fun things because I used to just hate the fact that I had to die. It
Hmm.
just felt pointless. Actually, extracting made it a lot of fun. Obviously, it was certain rounds, if I'm not mistaken, that you could exfil. It
Yeah.
wasn't like every round, um, which again made it a lot more interesting. Camera grind, again, incredible. You could use the cameras in multiplayer, and I'm pretty sure you could use them in Warzone. Could be lying there. I mean, I
Hmm.
never really used them. Um, you could level up your weapons for multiplayer. I took advantage of it, and then that's why when I took a break from going on multiplayer because there wasn't that many maps, I was leveling up like the RPG on
Yep.
zombies because you could bring it in
Yep.
at the start. You didn't have a star pistol. You could bring in whatever weapon. So yeah, there's me just leveling up my guns. Like, yeah, I love this.
Hmm.
Double weapon XP. Thank you very much. Like 3 games of zombies and you've maxed it.
Right.
Um, there was a crafting system that you could buy some like score streaks, which was pretty good. You could have a chopper
Hmm.
gunner, up there like zombies just getting absolutely destroyed down below. Fantastic. It was also a good way, like if you were in a sticky situation and you were about to die, quickly load it up, and it was basically an extra life.
Hmm.
If you're quick with it. Um, and then, like you said, that first map, Die Machina, honestly, probably my most played map ever in Zombies history. I loved it. Yeah, I did play the DLC maps though.
I did not. I did not play them. I only played D Machine, and like I said, we did the Easter egg pretty early on. But by the time Firebase Z came out, I was already done with Cold War. So
Mm-hmm. So rating wise, what will you give Cold War?
um, honestly, probably a B because I did really enjoy it. It's just I was playing other games at the time. Otherwise, I probably would have kept playing it.
Mm-hmm.
The camo grind was fun. The gunplay and multiplayer was fun enough to kind of carry it through.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really enjoyed the zombies. So yeah, I think B's fair.
I put down A, but I think I am going to give it a B. Just rereading Von der Haas's responses made it a B. For me, like
Wow.
honestly, nah, because you can't be, yeah, you can't be guilt tripping people for the wanting something and because you haven't made it so far. And to be
Yeah.
fair, like it didn't change too much from Modern Warfare. That what I hated from Modern Warfare. It was just the fact that the gunplay was a little nicer, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
zombies mode was really fun, and I didn't play the campaign, so I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna write down B instead. Because it was still fun. It was probably the most fun I've had in COD, in a
Yeah.
very, very, very long time. Moving on to probably the shortest segment of the whole entire podcast, Call of Duty Vanguard. That's it.
Yep.
Moving on.
All right. Modern Warfare 2.
No, I do have some things to say about Vanguard. Um, one of the things they did right, maybe it was because they had a little bit longer than the last two games because the development was a mess. There's 20 maps out at launch, which nowadays is phenomenal. You had so much
Mhm.
to do at the start. I just want to reiterate, I did not buy this game. I didn't put my money to it. Um, there was combat pacing, so like there was a 12v12, 14v14, 6v6. I think that would made it interesting, but playing the beta, you kind of like you had like the middle part of the map. I can't remember the map name. Like you were in the middle building, and then the other team were like on the outside trying to fight in, and like I don't know, it was a bit too much. 14 versus 14. It was just a camp fest.
Yeah.
Um, One thing I did love about the beta, and I think it was the first beta, Champion Hill. Didn't play it.
No, I,
Essentially,
I didn't touch Vanguard whatsoever. Not
okay,
even a second.
not even the beta.
Nope.
Oh
These
damn.
next two games I've never touched.
Oh damn.
This
So
is like this is where I kind of wrote Call of Duty off. This is where like watching the trailers and I watched gameplay before I bought it. I just was not interested enough to drop my money on it.
that makes sense. I mean, this nearly got me to buy the game, Champion Hill. It was a 2v2 mode essentially, but you had 8 teams. You had a certain amount of lives, and I'm pretty sure like you go into a game, but you had like 3 of those lives to lose. So effectively you had 3 rounds, and the team could be on like one. I could be very mistaken, but like it was that way. So like you go into a game against one team to start with, and it was a certain map. You kill them, you wipe them, so you're still on like 10 deaths, but they've got 4. But you could buy more deaths, so like you could keep going. In the end, it would be you versus another team that's left alive
Mm-hmm.
with lives. It was just a lot of fun. I enjoyed that mode a lot. It was basically very tactical because you could be on 1 death left and just play it a little slower, you know, force them to us. We can still win this type of thing. And I'm pretty sure
Mm-hmm.
we came back from being 3 deaths to 1 and we beat them because we just
Well,
we outsmarted them. Um, but yeah, Champion Hill beta was so much fun, and I really wanted to buy COD because of it. Zombies. Oh, the zombies community hated the first map because it wasn't round based.
yep.
I just remember Syndicate going crazy and saying he doesn't like it, and he ended up stopping playing it and going back to Cold War, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Um, yeah, the zombies community hated Vanguard zombies. And I don't know if they changed it. I think they did bring round based after that. It just seemed pointless not to.
Yeah.
So yeah, Vanguard is a DNP for me. Did not play. To be honest, from people's reactions to that game, it would probably be just above Modern Warfare. I'm not putting anything below it. I'll probably put it as a D if from people's opinions on it that I've listened to.
Yeah. That's all I really heard. So I just heard it was a really good one. Because I guess he's your friend too, Chant. He is a COD fanboy. Like he played a bunch of Vanguard. He's played a bunch of MW2, a bunch of MW3 already, and even he hated Vanguard. And he usually loves he really liked Modern Warfare. He liked Cold War. So it was kind of shocking to hear how much he hated Vanguard.
See, one of the things that also made me want to play the game was like the destructible areas. Like you could destroy a wall and make it like a new pathway and a new way to look through the map. That was interesting, but like it wasn't enough for me to spend £70 on the game. So
Right.
yeah, I took a year out from Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2, again, following on from Modern Warfare. This campaign was different to the original. So like in the original, if you've never played it, you're betrayed. You're still betrayed in this one, but Ghost doesn't die. So I was waiting for the end or somewhere in the thing for Ghost to die. He just doesn't. I was just like, oh, okay. I was preparing myself to see Ghost go. Interesting. So that didn't happen. The campaign itself was alright. It's campaigns nowadays, I feel, especially with Modern Warfare, are just like go and retrieve the bomb, the missiles. Oh no, like there's not much more they can really do. So, campaign was repetitive. It wasn't as good as Modern Warfare 2019 campaign. You know, that's the only praise I'm giving it. There is a crafting system, so you could find items on the floor, and you could craft like a bomb, Molotov, stuff like that. And there was a stealth mission that you needed to actually utilize the stuff that you found and like kind of get their team away from you.
Gotcha.
But that's because of Graves and Shepard. I can't remember what they're called. Their company's called. But they like turn on you midway through the campaign, and you kill Graves in a tank in one of the missions. Like he's talking to you, and yeah, you're killing it, destroying it. Let's just say MW3, he's somehow alive again, so clearly deaths don't fucking matter because you blew up the tank, and his response was, I wasn't in that tank. What the fuck? Like, and I'll go back to Modern Warfare 2019 when I said Alex was at the end dies because you had to go in and in person blow up the factory. He's in the second game. So apparently deaths don't matter in the Modern Warfare franchise. They respawn or just somehow survive a miracle. Honestly, there's so many plot holes, and they try and get around them by just saying, I wasn't there, I wasn't in it. Like, but explain how he wasn't because it makes no sense. Like, it really doesn't make any sense. Moving on to multiplayer. I think multiplayer was, again, with Cold War, one of the most fun experiences I've had in Call of Duty in a very long time. People say Modern Warfare 2 is worse than Modern Warfare 2019. Again, they keep saying it, and I don't understand their opinion. I really don't understand it. Like, this game was so much better. I could play it and have fun. There was a good... And I mean, the camo system changed. It was a lot easier to get the mastery camos, but it was fun. You know, it was a lot easier. It was quicker. I enjoyed it. and I went for it. I got it pretty quickly. I got the master camo pretty quickly. Attachments and the guns I mentioned to you earlier. You were it kind of was a big especially if you weren't doing the camo grind. Like there was no need to really use other weapons, but you kind of got forced to. So essentially, there was these they were grouped. There was I can't remember the exact name for it, but the weapons were grouped together. And I've got an example here. So the M4 at level 14 unlocked you the F-Tac Recon, which was a marksman. But at level 19 for the M4, you unlocked the 5.56 Icarus, which was the LMG version of the M4. And then by using the F-Tac Recon to level 17, you got the SMG, which was the Hurricane. And then by using the 5.56 Icarus to level 14, you unlock the M16. So like it was really confusing because what I like to do for camos is I like to use just like SMGs from start to finish, get the camos done with that class. ARs, you couldn't with this game. You had to kind of go AR marksman to unlock this gun, and it was very backwards and forwards. I didn't really enjoy that, but it's fine. And then attachments are also grouped to other weapons, so I'm 99% sure one of the best sights in the game was linked to a shotgun. So you had to use that shotgun to get the best sight in the game. So yeah, listen, that was like a really dodgy system in the game. But I guess it forced you to kind of go out your comfort zone to use a different class. So I understand it. Another thing that I didn't understand was the perk system. You had perks that you had unlocked at the start, but then normally you'd have perk 1, 2, and 3. You didn't have that in this one. You had bonus perks and ultimate perk that you'd unlock throughout the match. So it took like an average of 2 minutes for the bonus, and then 4 minutes for the ultimate. But you can earn it quicker by kills and score and stuff like that. But like, when's that ever happened before? Like, you're stopping us from getting perks from the start? Like, come on, man. I want ghosts from the start, and I think that may be why they didn't want you to have ghost. But like, something that was brought in one of the early CODs, I think it was ghosts. If you weren't moving, you were still seen on ghost, like in the UAV. So just keep that in. Again, that's something that we didn't mention as well, but it's one of those things. Ooh, one of the issues with this game. I mean, I've only brought out issues, but I promise you, I enjoyed this game. Museum map and the Greenberg Hotel. There was controversy about these because they were copyrighted. Essentially they made the maps, and the Greenberg Hotel looked like a hotel in Amsterdam. Obviously, it was based on it in Amsterdam. The hotel was not happy because obviously you're showing their hotel being shot at bad publicity. And then the museum, I can't remember. I think that was mainly a copyright issue. But that was in the beta. Like these two were in the beta. The museum was not in at the start of the game.
Oh wow.
Wasn't even in the season 1. It got released back into the game in season 2. So that kind of tells me that the maps they have in the seasons have already been made. They're just not releasing them. They're drip feeding.
Oh yeah.
They've always done it, I reckon. They've probably got all the maps at the start made, and they just go, we can release that one then. We're going to release that one then. And just drip feed the content instead of just giving it to the players. So
that makes sense.
I think that's only changed since map packs, though. I feel like they made the maps for map packs like as they go along, whereas with the seasons, they just drip feed them just to keep it entertaining.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but also not fair enough. Just give us the maps. But no, MW2, I had a lot more fun with this game. Again, there wasn't that many maps again. Hotel and Embassy were probably my favorites. Mikado was okay with the middle lane. And the best weapons was probably the M4 and the Faznev. The M4 was that good that they banned it in competitive, and I didn't like it. It was too strong. So I had to
Yeah.
use the TAC for ranked, which came out in season 1. And that's probably what got me to stop playing, because even though I keep saying it, my team we ended the night on a 16 win streak, like over like the
Wow.
past 2 days. Like we didn't lose, and
Yeah.
we just didn't play for a week. And then I was just there like, yeah, I can't be bothered playing. I don't want to keep using this gun. I already had the mastery camo at this point. I already had Dark Matter, so I was like, yeah, there's really no point me playing anymore. There's no progression. There's no prestiges. I could try and get Master or whatever top 250 in ranked. I wouldn't get it because there
Hmm.
was so many good players. But like, there was just nothing to keep me playing, and I wanted to stream other games. So
Yeah. Right.
yeah, MW2 was good. It also came out with Warzone 2.0, Al Mazrah. I haven't played, and it also had DMZ, which was their extraction shooter, which you forgot
Hmm.
about when you mentioned about Hunt Showdown and another game that was announced in Game Awards. You were like, there isn't a game like it, and I told you DMC, and you said we don't speak about COD. Um, I remembered.
We
But no,
don't though. We don't.
but DMC was fun. There was things to do in the map. People played it, but then again, like it wasn't really a third mode, and they've
Yeah.
got rid of it after a year. So like that's how much stuff they put into that mode. It was just like
Right.
a secondary. Try to make something of it. Just yeah. What are you rating this? I know you haven't played, so is it DMP?
Yeah, it has to be. It wouldn't be fair for me to rank it if I haven't even touched it. So
I'm giving it a B. Because again, it was like Cold War. It was fun. I enjoyed it. For it to be better than a B, they've really got to make more maps to start with and make multiplayer more of a priority. They're like one of the main reasons why I stopped the season 1 is you could tell the devs didn't care about multiplayer. They only cared about Warzone because it was the free to play mode. I'm paying
yep.
£70 to play the multiplayer. Fucking focus on it. We're giving you the
Right.
money. Warzone's free. Like, and you're focusing more on the Warzone aspect than the multiplayer, and it's that's why I haven't bought Modern Warfare 3. Is because they don't focus on the multiplayer. They literally leave it to die and just add the seasonal updates. Um, I found it boring. There's nothing to play for. Like, all you have to do, bring back classic prestiges. Again, I
Yeah.
can't say it
Honestly,
enough. Can't say it enough. And then
you're not wrong.
that leaves us for the last COD. We both haven't played it, have we? We
I
played the
played the
beta,
beta.
yeah.
Yep. Played the beta for maybe an hour. And remembered just why I stopped playing Call of Duty. So yeah, like I'm still not gonna rate it because I didn't give it enough time, but I did not like the small sample that I had.
So I only played for like 2 hours, 3 hours of the beta. And honestly, it was close to making me buy the game.
Wow.
Because I knew there was going to be more maps to start the game. Of course there was. It's a fucking remake.
Right.
So they didn't have to go and make maps because they already had them. So like, it's less effort. Um, I mean, one of my main things is it's a remake. It's a
Right.
shit show that they're making you pay £70 for something that you already had back in when was it? When was it that was released? 2009.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago that we had Modern Warfare 2? I mean, they didn't even like. Is it Modern Warfare 3? They haven't even released Modern Warfare 3 maps. They released
That's
Modern
hilarious.
Warfare 2 because it was more of a fan favorite. I just like I would have been all for it if it was cheaper.
Yeah.
Because, you know, fair enough if it's like 50 quid. Nowadays, games are £70. If you just reduced it to 50 quid from the start, you know what? I probably would have snatched it up from the start. Because obviously multiplayer is the only part that I would probably play, and yeah, a lot of maps, the same weapons again or different weapons. And I didn't really play Modern Warfare 2 at the time as well. I said I didn't play it, so like it would have been kind of a new experience for me.
Right.
But it's just the fact that I don't want to buy their game when they're being lazy.
Yeah.
If they're being lazy,
I
just
think
giving us remakes and then putting a £70 price tag on the game, then not a
yeah.
chance.
No. And like we mentioned it when it was brought up in the news. I can't remember what episode it was, but when they reduced the price, if you own Modern Warfare 2, or it's Modern Warfare 3 is essentially just a glorified DLC. It should have never been $70. Like it's just remade maps. It took no effort. The campaign was horrible and really short. From what I've heard, IGN gave it a 4 out of 10. Like I don't know. It's just a shit show.
Well, I watched a video from the Act Man. I'll probably put the video in the description down below as well. Because it was it was really good. It was just absolutely destroying Modern Warfare 3. He basically just shit on every single aspect of the game, campaign wise. And that's how I knew Graves was still alive, because he was like, "Oh yeah, do you know that guy that you killed in Modern Warfare 2? Hello, he's here." And he just brought back everything that was wrong with the game.
Yeah.
There's only 6 missions that weren't the open combat missions, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it was just terrible, man. Like watching that campaign, it was the worst. It was actually even the ending triggered me. Have you seen the ending?
Mm-mm.
Do you want spoilers? Spoiler alert for anyone
Yeah.
listening. You want spoilers? Essentially, you're in a tunnel in England, and give you context. Prior mission, apparently you blew up Makarov's chopper and it exploded.
Okay.
Fire, bang. Shepard goes, "You don't need to go and check. He's definitely dead. Makarov is dead." So obviously the task force team go off. Makarov's alive. He's in London. Oh fuck. Oh yeah. By the way, he survived the helicopter crash that exploded during the mission. There's a bomb underneath, like in the tunnel. Ghost is on the comms saying Makarov is heading your way. Twice. They're surprised when Makarov turns up. Oh my god. And Sub dies.
Oh,
Spoilers.
wow. It's so stupid.
Do you want to know how he dies?
Wow.
He just gets shot in the head. Like, literally. Literally, please, go and watch it. Go and watch the ending. The campaign ends after that. Literally, you don't get any revenge. It just leaves. Makarov escapes, of course he does, because why not? There's no revenge story. The campaign's short. It should have carried on for the revenge story, at least.
Right.
Like, finish off the story here. You've left it. They probably got a Modern Warfare 4 on the go. They were like, yeah, we need Makarov alive, and that's going to be the whole campaign again. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, the campaign triggered me, because I was just there, like, I laughed when he died. And
Yeah.
like, normally you're just there, like, no, Soap. I laughed. Because it was just so poorly done. Like, this main character,
Yeah.
who is loved by all, literally, bang. Not even like a hero's death. He's just fucking shot dead in front of you. Like, oh my god. It was so funny.
I mean, it's so sad. Like thinking about the old, like the original Modern Warfare trilogy, how good each of those campaigns were,
Mhm.
and just how by the wayside campaigns have gone. It's so sad.
And honestly, like, this campaign was absolutely slated. The Actman actually put this game as the worst campaign in COD history, below Black Ops 3.
That's wild.
Yes. You thought you couldn't get worse than Black Ops 3? Hello, Modern Warfare 3. Like, it's
Jesus
terrible.
Christ.
absolutely terrible. But he did put Ghosts campaign just above Black Ops 3, and I didn't agree with where he put Ghost campaign. I thoroughly enjoy Ghost campaign.
Yeah.
So yeah, he didn't like it apparently.
Yeah.
Another thing to talk about Modern Warfare 3, since we didn't play it, zombies. They brought back DMZ in the new map of Warzone. So I don't know what the new map's called. I apologize for this bad information. I should really know what it's called. But the new zombies is basically inputted into the new Warzone map. Essentially, it's just DMZ copy and pasted with zombies.
Yep.
You got like the easy tier, medium tier, and the red tier in the middle, which is like the hardest tier enemies. It's like the ones in the outer tier, you pretty much one hit them. The ones in the middle put up a fight, and the third one's like, holy shit, yeah, they're gonna hit hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've basically zombies fans probably despise it because what? That isn't zombies. That's more like don't know, Hunt Showdown. In a way, you have to
Yeah.
extract. Like it's
Right.
just doesn't feel the same. I mean, it looks like a good zombies mode. Don't get me wrong. Being around, going around. The only bad thing is there's a time limit. Like you're not giving people
Oh.
the. Yeah, exactly. You have to extract. Like you're not giving people the chance to like work their way up into the middle zone. Like you've got to do everything in 45 minutes. Give them a chance to get to the middle zone because you've got to travel,
Well,
and most of the map's empty.
right. And I know it's not round based, but that's part of the whole appeal of zombies is like going for those long games and like those high round attempts.
Mm-hmm.
Like just to take that completely away from players and make them get out of zombies. Like I don't know, that's very backwards to me.
Yeah. Again, something I'd have to give it a go to give my full opinion, but it doesn't look great, and I don't think many
Yeah.
people enjoy it. Like at the start of the game, though, to do some things, I think there's zombie camos again, or challenges. You could exfil and loads of zombies spawned in. I think they've patched it now because you could just farm it.
Yep.
That would have been. I think that would have been the fun part. Just calling in, just training them, killing them, and then
Mm-hmm.
doing it over and over again. Um, but yeah, that is all the games. I'm rating it DMP because I haven't played it yet. If
Yeah.
it does
Me
get
as well.
cheaper, I probably will buy it. If it gets to like the £40, £35 mark now because it's been out for a while, I'll probably buy it. It's still £54 on offer right now. It needs to be a bit
Yeah.
lower for me to play it. Because I'd only played the multiplayer.
Yeah. All right. So now that we are done talking through all the Call of Duties, it's mainly been the Grubb show for the last little bit here, just because I haven't played anything. But now we're going to be giving out some superlatives to the Call of Duties. We're going to have multiple different categories. We got favorite campaign, favorite multiplayer, favorite tertiary mode, most underrated COD, most overrated, least favorite, and then favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So, Grubb, why don't you start us off? What was your favorite campaign?
Favorite campaign? Um, I'm gonna say, bu- thinking of it because I did say that I like Ghost and IW's campaign better than Modern Warfare 2. I think I'm actually gonna go Modern Warfare 2 actually, the original 2009. Yeah, because then I remembered like most of the missions and stuff, and I just remember absolutely loving it, and I played it more. I've only played Infinite Warfare campaign once. I knew I loved it, and Ghost I've played it through multiple times. And I loved the cliffhanger at the end. But I think for me, I was lying to myself. Modern Warfare 2 definitely has the better campaign.
Okay. Let's say you changed up
I did
since
change
the
up.
last recording session because you said Infinite Warfare was by far the best campaign.
Yeah.
So that's fair. For me, my favorite was probably Advanced Warfare. In all honesty, I really enjoyed it. The the whole storyline, the Jonathan Irons and Atlas, like it was good. I enjoyed it. So that's probably mine.
Fair enough. Different opinions. I mean, again, I've got so many at the top. Like, it was very tough to pick from. Like, when I say Modern Warfare 2, I probably got IW and Ghost literally just like tickling it, like
Yeah.
tickling its bum, like I'm coming for you. As weird as that sounds, like because obviously they're gonna be tickling its head, is it? So yeah, they are very close.
Yeah, they all are super good. I just
Yeah.
haven't played the MW2 one enough or recently enough either to, I don't know. Like Advanced Warfare is just such a core memory for me because it was when we got day one and after that initial multiplayer grind we did. I
Hmm.
did the campaign like the next day. I did all that first day and loved it.
Yep. I mean, obviously, when you play it and how you play it is always going to affect your
Mm-hmm.
opinion on everything in life. So yeah, I mean, fair enough. Day one campaign, you being hyped for it, staying up, like, of course. Just the staying up part as a kid, that's I would have given it like a 10 out of 10. Just doesn't matter how bad it is. You could have played Modern Warfare 3 campaign and still give it a 10 out of 10 as a kid because you stayed up till 6 a.m. in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no, I think even the kid would turn off his PlayStation if he played that campaign. Um, um, favorite multiplayer. Go with you first. What is your favorite multiplayer experience?
It's gonna be Modern Warfare 3, the original. Relax. No, just because of Face Off. Like I had talked about it in its own segment, but Face Off is my favorite multiplayer experience like ever. So it just carries that. And then like honestly, the multiplayer wasn't bad in general either. It was super fun, super good, and it came out with Infected. Like I don't know, Modern Warfare 3 was just amazing. What about you?
For me, you'll cringe. Black Ops 3.
Oh,
I had so much fun.
BO2, like over BO2.
I love jetpacks. I actually really enjoyed jetpacks. And I played with my friends the most probably in Black Ops 3. You know what? Advanced Warfare was even up there because I played the most hours in that game online.
It's fair.
What we would do is we would just do like 2v2s against each other, 3v3s against each other. So like that made it fun.
Yeah.
Doing private matches against friends, just always competitive, always just having a laugh essentially. And Black Ops 3 was definitely the most fun to do it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Black Ops 2. I was young. I had fun with it, but like I can't really say I won Modern Warfare 3 again. I was young. I had so much fun on them, but like in a different sense. Like I was just a
Yeah.
kid. When I actually, got older, I was what 16 when Black Ops 3 was out. Like, yeah, I understood the game more, wanted to get better at it, and the drive was there to just keep playing. Um, I'd even put going back to it, World War Two was a fun multiplayer for me. So like
Yeah.
it's just when you play them really. Like it wasn't for the
Mm-hmm.
first, but like it was really fun when I went back to it and I'd go back to it now, essentially. And Cold War. Like again, I'll go there now. So there's a lot of favorite multiplayers. It's just I had to pick one. You're forcing
Right.
me to pick one. So Black Ops 3.
Yeah. Fair. What about favorite tertiary mode? I know you said you never really played them, so we'll get you out of the way with this one. But what's your pick?
Favorite one for me is probably because of again my experience with it, Special Ops Modern Warfare 2.
Yep.
Because I played it so much with my family, and in the end I actually did get the platinum trophy because I learned a way to do one of the special opses to get 3 stars.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, you needed 2 controllers, and you just needed to put one player in the doorway and use another player to like shoot around, and just keep reviving
Okay.
them, shoot them, because there was a juggernaut and juggernauts just kept coming, and the favela one.
Gotcha. Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, you needed to kill like 20 juggernauts, and it was a pain in the backside to do. So like you could just keep stabbing them, stabbing them, stabbing them. Someone res, stab, 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 res. Like the person who was hiding was the reser, and the person like blocking the doorway was the only one doing damage really. On
Gotcha.
veteran. So yeah, I think Special Ops back in Modern Warfare 2 was my favorite. What about yourself? What was your best third game mode?
I'm torn between BO3 zombies and BO2 zombies. I think for me, it's going to be BO2 zombies just because Buried and Mob of the Dead just carry so hard for me. I know BO3 has like the best maps in history, essentially, with Garad Krovi, Dries and Draka, Shadows of Evil. But I just didn't have as much fun on them as I did Buried. Like, Buried is my favorite of all time. I'll talk about that map to its end. But yeah, BO2 Zombies is just otherworldly. And Transit was so fun too. I love Transit and memories of finding the little ladder piece and getting on top of the diner and just holding off up there. And yeah, just some good memories.
You didn't really talk that much about Transit in the
Yeah,
first
we did.
part. Um,
It was super unique.
it was unique, and the fact that there was an Easter egg to run through the fog and you see the first ever map, Nectar and Toten,
Mm-hmm.
that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't really speak much about Transit, and I think we overlooked that one. People didn't like it, of course.
I
I
loved it.
I liked
It
it.
was so unique. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, I know you said I don't really play third party modes or third modes, but again, I'd also put quite high extinction for me,
Yeah.
and I'd probably put up there as well, Black Ops 2 Zombies. So I know I don't, they're not my priority playing them, but like I have
Mm-hmm.
played them. But yeah, again, Extinction very close to being my top one. I played that a lot.
Yeah. Extinction's good. I'd say Infinite Warfare Zombies is up there for me too. That's honestly probably third. I love Zombies in Spaceland so much.
Hmm.
It's so fun. But, I mean, I guess I'll lead into it because most underrated COD. My most underrated is Infinite Warfare. It is a game that I like. Every time I bring it up to my friends and stuff, they hate it. They dislike it.
Hmm.
But it's I don't know. I love it. It's just personally one of my favorites. Um, yeah, it does not deserve the hate, in my opinion.
I have there's two that I could potentially do because you've already chose IW and I don't want to choose IW because I agree with that statement. Um, it was a good COD, just people didn't want jetpacks. It came out in the wrong area.
Mm-hmm.
Another game that came out at the wrong time, Ghosts. I think that's very underrated for what Call of Duty is. It was very good.
Mm-hmm.
The fast time to kill probably put people off, so I kind of get it. But the one I'm going for, and I wouldn't have went for this if it didn't make the changes, World War Two. If it was the same as what it was released, it would be probably one of the least favorite CODs. But
Yeah.
the fact that I went back to it after it made the changes and it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Again, a lot of people will say, "Oh, you're just having a laugh saying World War Two." Go back and play it now. You might have more fun.
Yeah.
It's weird because I feel like with the newer games, there's more. Oh, I gotta do well. I gotta play well. Whereas like you play an older one, if you don't do well, oh well.
Yeah.
You're not stressed out playing the older games because no one cares really.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, you're just playing with other people who will enjoy that game. So yeah, underrated COD, World War Two.
Oh, fair enough.
I think I know your answer for the next one. Most overrated COD, and I can't believe you actually putting this COD to it.
Black Ops 3.
Oh, you
I
haven't played it,
I
yo.
just I don't like it. I don't get the hype. The multiplayer is not fun. Like specialists are gross. I don't like it. The only saving grace in this game is zombies. If zombies wasn't literally like the greatest zombies experience for like the large majority, I I don't know what would have happened with this game. The multiplayer is bad. The campaign is atrocious. We went over that, but no, it's definitely the most overrated.
I mean, we already know what I'm putting there. Modern Warfare 2019.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Fair.
putting that up right at the top. Like, people love that game. It's overrated. It shouldn't have even
Yeah.
got a rating.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, I guess I
actually
could have gone.
terrible.
Warzone, since we split it up into its own category, I think Warzone's pretty overrated.
Potentially, but
not as much as BO3. I can't stand it.
I mean, most overrated kind of leads on to the least favorite COD, because normally the least favorite is kind of what you consider the most overrated, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna hit Modern Warfare. I'm back to back.
Yeah. So that's my answer too. I don't want to use the same answer, but it is. 2019 is just so bad. And the reason I didn't say it for most overrated is because I think BO3 is way more loved than 2019 Modern Warfare is, and I hate them almost equally. So, but 2019 is just. I mean, it literally killed my love for COD. So how could I not put it as least favorite?
And then the one to top it off, and honestly, this is gonna take a while to even think of because there's so many. Favorite COD.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go first because I need to think about it.
I think purely based off of like thinking about it in my head, how good the campaigns are, how good the multiplayer is, how good the tertiary mode is, kind of like putting them in a mental leaderboard, seeing which one is the highest in each category. I think it's going to be Black Ops 2. That used to not be my answer. My answer always used to be Modern Warfare 3. Kind of because I didn't. Black Ops 2 is such a popular answer, but its campaign is really good. Multiplayer is like top 3. Zombies is top 3. And like, I don't know, just the memories on that. That was, like I said, only game I got to Prestige Master on. And just memories on that, the quick scoping stuff. Yeah, it has to be. I wish I could go back to that time. I hope they don't remaster it, but I wish I could go back to that time.
See, I hope they remaster it just so, but like have it cheaper.
I I have a strong argument against the remastering the old CODs. Everyone's like, oh, it'll bring back how fun it was and everything. And I'm just a strong believer that it's because of the community is why COD isn't fun anymore. How competitive and like skill based matchmaking, how heavy all that is. It'll just why wouldn't it bog down the other CODs? The gunplay and maps can only carry it so far.
And if you're from the COD community listening to this, he doesn't mean you. He doesn't mean you. He's you're not one of those. Just calling them out. At least it's at the end of the podcast.
Right.
Maybe they didn't get this far. But no, I agree with skill-based matchmaking. That's definitely one of the massive killers. So why I don't really want to play COD multiplayer, because I don't want to try hard. I just want to have fun.
Right.
I think that's why, for my favorite COD, I'm gonna hit you with it. Black Ops 3. I'm hitting you with it. Screw the campaign. It was just the time when I had the most fun playing Call of Duty. I was loving it.
So it's the award isn't best Call of Duty, it's favorite. So
Exactly, it's favorite. Best Call of Duty. I mean, yeah, let's do that. Let's actually do that. The best Call of Duty favorite is definitely different to best. Let's do best then.
Modern Warfare 2 has got to be up there. The original.
Okay.
Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 have to be up there. So it's got to take the overall, like all 3 of the modes. Ghost, no, obviously not. World at War is up there. If I played the campaign. I only brought up Ghost's name because all 3 of the modes are like pretty darn good.
Yeah,
like,
the multiplayer.
Really
I think the multiplayer lets it down.
Yeah, I'd say that's kind of its weakest point. It's not a super weak point.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But I don't know. I think it's got to be Modern Warfare 2. It's so iconic. The multiplayer in it's so iconic. All the maps from that game, and then the only wow, Special Ops is just the only thing, and I know it's endeared to your heart because of the memories. But I don't know. There's a reason that Zombies is in most games.
Yeah, of course.
I don't. Do you have one in your head?
Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
The best COD ever
I
made was
feel.
probably Black Ops 2. Is that?
I feel like that is the right answer.
Well, think about what game came after it, and they didn't get liked, even though we both think it's good. Like Black Ops 2
Yeah.
set the bar so high that when they got
Yeah.
ghosts, they were disappointed.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think it has to be BO2. I think Modern Warfare 2 would take it if Special Ops was more memorable and
Mm-hmm.
like bigger. Just because I think the campaign is better than BO2,
Yeah.
and the multiplayers are about the same in all reality. So it is kind of that tertiary mode that gives BO2 the advantage. But I think, yeah, I think it's got to be BO2.
Again,
So for me, it's the same. Favorite
yeah.
COD and best COD are the same.
Whereas for me, it's definitely different. It's still Black Ops because yeah, I think Black Ops are the best. When you give me the multiplayer side of things, it's Modern
Yeah.
Warfare just doesn't really compete. Modern Warfare 3, the original, and Modern Warfare 2 that just came out. I had fun with them, so like I'll give them a break with them too. But like Infinite Warfare was kind of a miss. I know, like you like it, but out of the three of the jetpack era, that was the worst one. I know you don't agree, but for me, it was the worst one. And then Ghosts again. It was a bit of a. It was good, but like it, it was average when it came to multiplayer. Now, I
Yeah.
still enjoyed it at the time, but like I kind of knew like it wasn't the best, but like it was
Mm-hmm.
playable and that was fun. Whereas nowadays they're not playable and they're not fun. There's a difference between how they make the games now. Like Modern Warfare 2019, not playable, not fun. Modern Warfare 3, it looks playable and it looks a lot of fun, and that's the only reason why I kind of still want it.
Yeah.
So like this year's COD does look fun, and my mates are like, we've bought it. I haven't bought the last ones. This is the only game that I've had fun on in a very long time. Like they're selling it to me. They want me to buy it because watching them play, it looks incredible. However, the one thing, and we haven't spoke about it because it's not really a thing, snaking the movement, where like you can only see their head,
Oh.
like you have to like spam, like crawl up just constantly up a wall, and they can't really shoot you, but like you can see
Yeah.
them. If that was out the game, I know they've patched it to make it not as good. If they got rid of that, like I'll probably be on it right now, but I just can't be
Yeah.
bothered dealing with someone who's trying to break the controller. Like, come on,
Mm-hmm.
you're destroying it. But I
Mm-hmm.
understand why people do it, because that's the only way you can compete against someone else doing it. So you've got to practice
Right.
it. I just don't want to. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Black Ops 2, best COD ever made. You
Yeah.
said
Has to be.
Black Ops 2 as well. So
Mm-hmm.
we both agree. We both agree. And I'm happy
Yeah.
we both agree. We haven't agreed on everything. And
Yeah.
you people listening, you lovely people who spent around 2.5 hours to get to this point. Again, thank you so much. Like, we're sorry that
Yeah.
they last so long. Um, there's just so many COD games, and obviously we want to talk about all of them and our opinions on all of them and give a bit
Mm-hmm.
of history. But no, thank you all for listening. Let us know what is your favorite card and stuff like that. I'll have them in the description again, like I mentioned earlier. Um, yeah, onto the game now.
Yeah.
The rules of the game is simple. One of us will give clues, the other one will guess. Depending on how quickly we get the answer, or even if we don't get the answer, we will get a certain amount of points. If we guess from the first clue, we'll get 5 points. And if we guess on the last clue, we'll get 1 point. Now, if we don't get it, we'll get 0, and we will be absolutely terrible. But then again, it could be something that we've never played before, really obscure. But I don't think we'll be that horrible to each other.
No, shouldn't be.
Hopefully not.
And this week, I am giving clues to Grubb. Last week, if you haven't seen it, Grubb gave me clues, and we started our scoring for the year because we will be keeping tally of how many points we get throughout the year and just seeing who is, better. So, are you ready for the first clue, Grubb?
I'm ready.
All right. First clue is I am a character from a franchise spanning 14 games.
Spanning 14 games.
Yep.
14 games. Mario.
No.
Oh, okay.
I wonder how many Mario has. That's interesting.
I don't
All
know.
right.
I feel like it has more, but like I know it's not Final Fantasy because that's got 16.
Okay.
Um,
That's fair.
and I can't think of any other which has got more than 14, so I went for Mario.
That's fair. And this clue is dangerous. If you know like the history behind this character,
Okay.
you might get it here. The second clue is I was originally designed to be green and named Pete.
Heat.
Pete. Pete.
Oh, Green and Pete. Green and Pete. Sonic?
No. It's a good guess though. That's a good guess.
Okay.
All right. First released in 1998. I wasn't released on PC until my remastered trilogy in 2018.
Master Trilogy in 2018. Oh, you son of a gun! It's Spyro.
It's Spyro. There you go. Good job.
Oh, I should have known by the green, because he's purple, but they decided against green because they wanted to go purple. Oh, I knew that. Okay, I'll take the 3 points. I can't believe 14 games.
I think, yeah, I think that's a good. I failed to say it before, but I'm trying to make it a little more difficult this week because if you've seen the last two episodes, last week I got it on the second clue, and then the week before, Grubb got it narrowed down to 2 characters on the second clue. So I think this was a good balance because I mean, like I said, if you knew the history, which you said you did, you could have nailed it on the second clue. So the potential's there. It's just harder.
I should have got it in the second clue. Now I remember it was supposed to be Pete. Yeah. It comes to
Yep.
mind. I've watched the history of it. I've watched Spyro history.
Because I knew you were a Spyro fan, so I thought I'd try to sneak it under you a little bit.
Oh, the fact that you've done that is just terrible.
But and then researching this to come up with clues, I didn't know that Spyro was originally made by Insomniac.
Yes.
Because the fourth clue I had on here was my iconic purple look was first developed by Insomniac. And then the last clue is I am a dragon.
Could be anyway. Could be toothless.
Sure.
But no, that's the game. I get 3 points. So currently the scores on the doors. Ace has 4 points. I have 3 points now. So not much in it. Hopefully next week Ace does an absolute terrible one. And gets like 2 points, 1 point, so I can get in there and hopefully lead into the 4th week. So that'll do it for today's podcast. I hope you all enjoyed. That is literally Call of Duty from AW to Modern Warfare 3. And if you watched last week's, it's from COD 1 to MW3. And we hope you all enjoyed. We know these are a little bit longer than the usual podcasts from week 1 to 3. But yeah, we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to Call of Duty. Again, leave it in your comments. Your favorite campaign, multiplayer. I'll put that all in the description for you to just copy and paste. Because obviously at the end, we've given ours. We'd love to hear yours. But before we end, Ace, where can we find you?
YouTube at AceTheTurtle TV 360. That's the app, but the channel is just AceTheTurtle TV. I actually am editing a video right now I'm super proud of so far. So be on the lookout for that. And then Twitch is at AceTheTurtle TV, and then X is at AceTheTurtle TV. And then IGN playlist is AceTheTurtle TV as well. So what about you, Grubb? Where can we find you?
Essentially everywhere on GrubbPlays. So Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all GrubbPlays. Again, all links will be in the description, as well as the PowerUP podcast links for like Spotify, for Twitter. So yeah, everything will be in the descriptions on Spotify and YouTube. Again, thank you all for listening. That's been 5 episodes. We're killing it, and it's only going to get better. So thank you. Bye.